Tony's trying to come in as well. But yeah, without further ado, I'll leave it over to you.
Okay. Sorry, I'll just change the music. Welcome. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming today. My name is SEVA. I'll be guiding you through a beautiful, fun, empowering 60-minute Hatha yoga class. Hatha means sun and moon in Sanskrit. It also means discipline of effort or requiring effort. So today we will balance both our sun and our moon channels, the masculine, the feminine, and we'll use a bit of fire, a bit of Agni to get it started. So I'd like us to all stand and start in our mountain pose, our Tadasana. So coming to the top of our mats, grounding all four corners of the feet, the big toe mound, the pinky toe mound, the two heels at the back, grounding them into the earth. Maybe they're hip width, maybe they're a bit wider than hip width, what feels comfortable. And closing down the eyes, tuning into your breath. Feeling your inner thighs roll inwards, active quads. Feel your heart rise up to the sky, tucking in the ribs. Arms are naturally resting by their sides, listening to the sound of our breath. I'd like to start off this class by thanking the traditional custodians of this land, the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung and the Bunwurrung people of the East Kulin Nation. Today we thank the elders, past, present, and emerging, for their wonderful care of country. This land will always be Aboriginal land. Let's begin to deepen our breath. Inhale, feel it rise in the belly. Heart expanding, the rib cage, maybe in the heart. And as we exhale, letting it go, allowing the belly to draw in, the ribs soften, heart softens. One of the main principles of yoga is ahimsa. This means non-injury, non-violence to self, to others. So please bear this in mind throughout the practice. If anyone has any niggles, any limitations, injuries they'd like me to know about, you can raise a hand and I can come on over. Otherwise, just respecting your bodies, respecting the body, loving the body. Feel your feet start to connect to the earth beneath us. Growing roots, beautiful tap roots into Patanama, into the earth. Feeling uplifted, feeling strong. The theme for today is bringing light. In preparation for Diwali or Deepavali on Monday, the Festival of Lights, Miki thought it would also be a wonderful idea to celebrate the lightness within us all, to see ourselves in our highest power, to see ourselves in strength, to see ourselves in our true essence. So I'd like us all to set a personal sankalpa, a resolve, small intention. I am the light I am. I shine so brightly now. Whatever resonates with you, please, I invite us to make an intention and to let it rest in our heart. Seeing if we can deepen the breath for an inhale, maybe a count of 7. Belly fills for a count of 4. Ribs expand on 5 and 6. 7, the heart lifts. And as we exhale for a count of 7, belly draws in, count of 4. Ribs 5, 6, 7, heart softens. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, let go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, contract. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale. Exhale. Soften the shoulders, soften the jaw, the temples. Remember your light. 2 more rounds like this. Really arriving. Feeling your presence. All of me is here now. Last round, deep inhale. Go tall in the spine, exhale. Beginning to blink the eyes open. Find ourselves arriving at the top of the mat. Our intention in our heart. We're ready to begin. I invite us all to shake. Just shake a limb. Shake some fingers, some wrists. Maybe get more dynamic, get funky, or anything. It can be soft, it can be subtle. Shaking off the week, shaking off the traffic, shaking off the snow, weather. What is it? I don't know. It's okay. Connecting to the breath while shaking, linking body and breath. One and the same. Here for 3, here for 2, and 1. Pausing, taking the feet nice and wide as the mat. Feeling the energy settle. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. As we exhale, bend, lean them towards the window. Gently bending the knees, lubricating the knee joints. Inhale. Exhale. Taking circles. Warming up the side body. Warming up the quads. In our own time. Following the breath. As we rise, we inhale, we feel the yang, the heaven energy. Exhale, raise the earth, yin. Then we'll take circles in the other direction. Beautiful. One more like this. Inhale, keep the arms up. Step the feet in. Exhale, squat. Become the baby C. Give ourselves a hug. Inhale, rise to standing. Spread the arms wide like a phoenix. Maybe a little back bend. Look up. Exhale. Hugging the other way, if we can remember. Or the weird way, as we like to call it. Inhale. Open the arms, spread the wings, open the heart. Exhale. Baby C. 2 more. Inhale. Come on up. Beautiful. Open the heart. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Slight back bend. Exhale. Let the arms fall to the sides. Again, taking your feet as wide as the mat. Coming into some side twists. So we'll inhale the arms up to shoulder length, shoulder height. As we exhale, twisting over to the arm wall. So on the tippy toe of the right foot, right hand to left shoulder, right hand touch, left hand touches the lower back, gaze over left shoulder. Inhale other side, letting go of the arms, moving through honey. Exhale, twist. Send love to the kidneys, to the adrenals. Inhale. Unwind, bring the arms forward and over to the other side. Exhale. Beautiful. One more inhale. Arms forward and exhale over to the other side. Beautiful. Inhale back to Tadasana, back to mountain. Bring the arms to the sides, feet close together. From here, we'll inhale the arms up to the sky. Palms touch overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Bend in the knees. Send the crown of the head to the earth. Uttanasana, forward fold. In our first Uttanasana, we can pedal out the feet, so gently bending in one knee, straightening the other leg, bending in the other. Releasing in our calves. Seeing how it feels in the body. Releasing in the lower back. Lengthening, all the while breathing. Beautiful. Coming to stillness in our forward fold. We'll halfway lift, straighten the legs, place the hands on the shins, flat back. Exhale, bend the knees deeply. Come to sit on the earth and take some rock and rolls up and down the length of the spine. As slow, as medium pace, as fast paced as we like. Spinal articulation, mobilizing our energetic spine, the Sushumna. We're both the Ida, the moon, the feminine, and the Pingala, the masculine. We're both those energies dance. One more like this. Meeting cross-legged at the top of the mat, coming into tabletop. Coming onto all fours, spreading the fingers, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, taking some small circles in any direction, reconnecting with the breath, remembering our intention. I am the light. I feel light. I see myself in my highest power. Gently taking wrist circles in the opposite direction. Monitoring the breath. How's the quality? The inhale, does it feel warm? The exhale. Does it feel soothing? Can we lengthen the breath? And then gently finding stillness in our tabletop Brahmanasana. Coming into some cat-cows. As we inhale, we'll let the belly drop. Heart shines forward, gazing to the sky. Exhale, push into the hands, into the feet, round the upper back. Gaze into the belly, cat. Inhale. Exhale. Really elongating that breath. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Dome the upper back. Opening in the thoracic spine. Inhale back to neutral tabletop. From here we'll lift right knee to the right wrist, coming into drinking pigeon, taking the right shin diagonally, scooching the left leg nice and long all the way back, maybe coming onto the fingertips. We'll inhale, and as we exhale, we'll bow forward, hinging at the hips. Next inhale, coming to rise up, high proud pigeon. Exhale, lowering. One more, inhale. Exhale, walk the hands forward. Keep left hand planted firmly in front of us on a 45-degree angle. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Take a look at the fingers. Exhale, thread the needle. Back of the right arm, maybe in contact with the mat. Right side of the head. And there. Just bring it there. 1. Eka. 2. Due. 3. Trini. 4. Chatwari. 5. Pancha. Inhale, unwind. Right arm to the sky. Exhale, clap the right hand. Untop the left toes. Counter pose. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. Hands shoulder width apart. Tailbone to the sky. Feet maybe closer together. Maybe hip width apart. Walking out the dog. First down dog of this flow. Breathing here. And as we're ready, we'll inhale to float that left knee behind left wrist. Taking left shin diagonally across the mat. Lengthening in that right leg. Coming maybe onto the fingertips in our high pigeon. Inhale, shine apart. Exhale, drinking pigeon. Hinging at the hips, bowing forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, coming up to high pigeon. Place that right palm securely on the earth. Inhale, sweep the left arm up to the sky. Take a gaze at the fingers. Exhale, thread it under. Yeah, it's fine if the head is resting in space or is in contact with the mat. Perhaps a block under the head for the left side. Breathing here. 1. Eka. 2. Due. 3. Trini. 4. Chatwari. 5. Pancha. Inhale. Rebend the right elbow. Send left arm to the sky. Exhale. Plant the left hand. Tap the right toes. Downward facing dog. Pedaling out the dog. Getting those tailbones nice and high. There may be a micro bend in the knees today. And or the elbows. They don't have to be completely straight or locked out. It's about how it feels for you. How downward dog lands for you today. No judgment, no comparison. We all stay within the 4 corners of our mat. Beautiful. Inhale to rise onto the tiptoes, gaze forward. Step our way to the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, forward folding. As we inhale, can we take the strap that might be near us? Take it shoulder width wider than shoulder width apart in our grip. We'll inhale, slowly roll up, vertebra by vertebra. Bring the hands above the head, finding our grip. Maybe doing some little side bend, side to side. Opening underneath the shoulders, the lateral body, receiving more prana. All good? Awesome. So as we settle into our proud Tadasana with this banner, with this strap, inhale, crown rises up. And as we exhale, stepping right foot behind left, and gently peeling open right side body, leaning towards on wall. Breathing here. One more breath. Beautiful. Inhale back to the center. Growing tall, finding our roots. Exhaling towards the window. Left leg steps behind the right side lunge, side bend. Beautiful. Breathe. One more breath. Inhale back through center. And as we exhale, gently tipping towards the left, and then forwards and down. Maintaining tension on the strap, the only tension in this room. Take small, big circles. Opening up to the sides, the keel. That's going forward, beautiful. Maintaining circles in the other direction when we're ready. Exhale is below as we lift, we inhale. Exhale. Lovely, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale, rise up. Going tall, make a little back bend, fire the heart forward. Exhale, forward fold, gently place the strap to the side, bending the knees, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back. Coming into our high plank, to our Phalakasana. So hands are strong, feet are spread, shoulders over wrists. First chaturanga, let's exhale, drop the knees, untuck the toes, lower the heart slowly towards the earth, elbows lifted. Nice. Inhale, baby cobra, gently pressing into the pelvis, looking forward. Exhale, heart falls to the earth. Tuck the toes, press up to the knees, inhale. Exhale, child's pose. We can take our child. Knees can be as wide as the mat. We can rest the forehead on the earth or on a block. Arms come forward. Just connecting to the breath. And I create more space in my body as I breathe each breath. Slow down my breath. Can I slow down my thoughts? Who am I before the thought? Two more like this. Last one. Next inhale, gently raising the forehead, gazing forward, tucking the toes, sending the tailbone high, Adho Mukha Svanasana, down and facing forward. Maybe one last pedal of the feet, bending in one knee, straightening the alternate leg. Exhale, folding. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, flat back gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up vertebra by vertebra. Taking our arms up with us. High prayer. Palms touch overhead. Exhale, bow forwards. Coming into Surya Namaskar A. Uttanasana, forward fold, belly to thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping back to our high plank. Shoulders over wrists. From here, we exhale. We can either lower the knees or on the toes, lower all the way down, Chaturanga, Dandasana. Inhale, untuck the toes, push up into our Cobra. Shoulders rolled away from the ears. Exhale, lower the heart. Inhale to press up to plank, either on the knees or on the toes. Exhale, down, facing dog. As we're ready, inhale onto the balls of the feet, on the tippy toes. Exhale, drop the heels to the right. Breathing in. Inhale onto the balls of the feet, back through center. Exhale, drop heels to the left. Push into the hands, feel the side stretch. Inhale onto the balls of the feet, back through center. Exhale, lower the heels, down facing dog. From here, we'll walk the hands to the feet, to the back of the mat. On our inhale, exhale, fold. Belly to thighs. Gently hold opposite hand to opposite elbow and gently sway. Rock yourself left to right, like we would a little baby. Our inner child. Left to right. Beautiful. On our next inhale, letting the hands go, straightening the legs, halfway lift. Exhale, planting the hands, bending in the knees, stepping back, high plank. From here, we'll lower, exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, all the way to the mat. Inhale, Cobra, Bhujangasana. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, heart to the earth. Inhale up to high plank. Exhale, downward dog. On the next inhale, let's come onto the balls of the feet, gaze forward, walk to the top of the mat. Exhale to fold. Inhale to slowly come all the way up to standing with the arms by the sides, Tadasana. Placing left hand on the heart, right hand on the navel, closing down the eyes for a brief moment, and reconnecting to our full yogic breath. Slowing down the breath, lowering the blood pressure, connecting to our inner self, finding spacious, creating light. 2 more like this. 1 more. Exhale. The next inhale, bring the eyes open, let the arms fall to the sides. Stay here for the exhale. As we inhale, we'll raise the arms forward and up. And as we exhale, we'll shoot the breath like we're on a ski or inhale, rise. Exhale. Go. Inhale. Beautiful. Inhale. 3 more. Inhale. Last one. Go to hold. Exhale. Inhale to rise up. Palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Pray to the heart. Samastiti. Finding a drishti, which means focal point, one point of gaze, whether it is the eyes closed or perhaps a point on this wall, something that isn't moving. And focus all our energy there, laser eye focus. Here in the now, nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, just breathing together. From here I'd like us to come into our Lakshmi Mudra. So we take the pinkies touch, the palms face towards us, we bend the 3 middle fingers in, and then the thumbs point out, we hold it in front of our heart. As it is Diwali, we honor the Devi Lakshmi, who is known for bringing abundance, prosperity, whatever that looks like, whatever that feels like to you. So calling to your mind's eye, what would I like to prosper? What seeds would I like to see grow? Diwali actually means row of lights. And as you can see, we have a lovely row of lights behind me, and I have a beautiful row of lights in front of me. Beautiful souls. Breathing deep for 3. Deep. Here for 2. Wet. Here for 1. And come. Exhale. Inhale the hands by the sides. We'll come to face the window. We'll come into some Chandra Namaskar, so moon salutations. Hatha, sun, moon. So the Ta is the moon, the feminine energy. So let's take the feet wide, a bit wider than shoulder width apart, grounding all 4 corners, laying our foundation. We'll bring the hands to the heart again. Anjali Mudra. Let's inhale the hands up towards the sky and keep them in prayer. And as we exhale, gently bending towards the right, towards the mirrors. That's it. Inhale back through center. And as we exhale, coming into Goddess Kali squat. So squatting down, squatting deep as we can. Sparking the fingers, tucking the tailbone, cactusing the arms, feeling our strength, the divine feminine energy within us. And then from here we inhale the arms up to the sky. And then as we exhale, arms out to the sides, preparing for triangle. Right hand comes down, maybe right hand finds right shin, right ankle, or maybe even a block if we like. Left arm to the sky, gazing up. Inhale, back to standing. As we exhale, we'll twist the left foot to face the back room. So both feet facing the back room. Taking an inhale here, arms shoulder length. Exhale, hinge at the hips, coming into our pyramid. Parsvatanasana, head towards the knee. There may be a micro bend in that front knee. That's okay. Doesn't have to be rigid, doesn't have to be fully straight. From here, we'll inhale, step the left foot next to the right. Exhale, step the right foot back, lower the right knee, untuck the right toes. As you inhale, come into low lunge, Anjaneyasana, hands lift. Stay with the exhale, bend into that left knee. Relax the shoulders. Nice. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, coming into Skandasana, so facing that on wall, bending in that left knee. Right leg is nice and long. Flex those right toes. Maybe we're on the ball of that left foot. Maybe hands are on the earth for balance, for stability. Or maybe they're at prayer. Or maybe they're over here. Stay here for 1 breath. As we inhale, moving to Malasana, yogic squat. Coming to the middle of the mat, taking our stance, sinking deep. Hands in prayer, elbows pushing out of the thighs. Heart full. As we exhale, keep lightly bent. Straighten left leg, Skandasana on the other side. Flexing left toes towards the face. Beautiful. Hands can be on the ground. Or maybe we hover them. That's our balance. Nice. And then inhale. Face the front of the room down, low lunge on this side. Inhale, rising up, bending that right knee. Arms lift, shoulders relax. Exhale. The back knee can be down or it can be up. So I my knees down. And then from here we exhale, forward fold, stepping that left foot to meet the right at the top of the mat. Then we'll step that right foot back, exchanging, coming into pyramid on this side. So left leg long, bow the head towards the knee. Nice, and then spin that right foot to face the window, coming into triangle. Inhale, left hand on left shin, right hand to the sky, gaze at the right fingers, breathe. One more. Inhale to come upright, torso nice and neutral. Exhale, Kali squat. Squatting down, practicing the arms, sparking the fingers. Inhale, arms rise, legs straighten, palms meet overhead. And as we exhale, tipping towards the gong at the front of the room. So right side body stretch. That's it, yes. Breathe here. Nice, inhale back through center. Exhale, give ourselves a hug. Ooh. Stepping the left foot in, stepping the right foot in. Coming to face the top of the mat once more. Rearranging, readjusting, going north, south, east, and west. And letting the hug go. Standing in our power. Finding our center once more. As we're ready, inhale, lift the arms up. Hands touch overhead, small back bend, fire the heart forward. Exhale, forward fold. Belly towards the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Keep the right foot planted. Step the left knee back. Drop the left knee, untuck the left toes. Coming into low lunge. Inhale. Exhale, take a twist to our right. Arms long. Looking back at the right hand. Beautiful. Arms shoulder width. Awesome. Parallels the shoulders. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, taking a twist over to the left. Open twist. Gazing at the left hand. Nice. Inhale, arms back up. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, arrowhead. So we bow the head forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades up and in towards the spine. Palms face backwards. Nice. Inhale, lift. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, half Hanuman. So we flex the right toes towards the face, maybe up on the fingertips. Head is bowed towards the knee. Stay here for 3, 2, 1. Ekam. Leave left fingertips here. Inhale, right onto the sky. Side body stretch on the right. Create space, create length. Exhale, back to half Hanuman. Bending again into that right knee. Walking the hands forward. Floating that left knee. Keep left palm planted. Inhale, easy twist. Right arm to the sky. Exhale, take that right arm back. Make circles. Continue that exhale. Inhale, rise. Circle to the back. Exhale, drop. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Clap that right hand. Step left foot forward to meet the right. Forward fold. Relax the head. Relax the neck. Crown of the head pointing to the earth. Maybe some intuitive sways left to right. Facing out the upper back. Untwisting. Rewiring. Coming home. 3 more like this, 3 more breaths. 3, 2, 1, and calm. From here, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bending both knees, keep left, planted, step the right leg back, right knee drops, untuck the right toes. Inhale, arms up, low lunge. Exhale, taking a twist to the left. Bending into that left knee. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up, back to center. Hips are square, shoulders relaxed. Exhale, open twist to the right. Arms are long. Taking a gaze at the right fingertips. Nice. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, taking our arrowhead, leaning at the hips, heart towards the thigh. Arms are nice and strong. Fingers sparkling. Breathe. Beautiful. Inhale. Arms up. Exhale, Ardha Hamanasana, half monkey. So we're straightening that left leg, flexing the left toes, hands can be there for balance. Breathe here. One more breath. Keep right fingertips planted with inhale. Feel open the left side while your left fingers to the side. Stay here for the exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Let that arm float back to the earth. From here, we're bending into that right knee. Keeping right palm planted, hovering the right knee. Inhale, open the left arm to the sky, easy twist. Making sure that left knee is over the left ankle, stacking joints, external rotation, breathe. One more, beautiful. Nice, exhale that left arm to the back, behind us, taking some circles as we lift, we inhale. Beautiful. Exhale, lower that left hand, circle around. Moving through honey, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Beautiful. Exhale, circle back, clasp that left hand by the left foot, gaze forward, inhale. Gaze the heart. Exhale, step that right foot to meet the left, forward folding. Beautiful. Next inhale, we'll halfway lift. Straighten the legs, flat back. Exhale, folding in the thighs. On the next inhale, coming into our chair pose, Utkatasana. Bending in the knees, inhale, sweep the biceps by the ears. Sitting in our chair. Beautiful. Find our drishti, find our focus. Breathe into the belly. 2 more. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, slowly find the ground with the glutes. Coming into our cosmic egg, so variations, we can keep on the balls of the feet, interlace the hands under the knees, tuck the chin, or maybe float the toes. Find that perfect balance. And from here, if we want to adventure a bit more, maybe a supported half boat, our Ardha Navasana. So hands can come underneath the calves, draw the belly up and in, shoulders relax. If you want more, extend the arms, spark the fingers, breathe. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. And come slowly lower on down, nice and long. Feel the back of the head on the earth, the entire body planted, rooted. From here, we'll gently inhale, give ourselves a big hug, bend the knees in towards the heart. Maybe opposite hand finds opposite elbow. Gently rocking side to side. the earth, knees to the sky. We'll come into our Setu Bandhasana, our bridge pose. So we want the feet, we want to be able to tickle the Achilles heels. They don't want to be too close, they don't want to be too far away. So feel into that for yourself. If anyone needs a hand, please raise a hand. Otherwise, I think we should be good. Once we found that, that's our foundation, our starting. As we inhale, next we press into the hands and the feet, lift the glutes, squeeze the pelvic floor. So we engage our Mula Bandha, our base lock, the space between the genitals and the perineum for men, and around the cervix for females. Breathing here, squeezing the glutes and quads. Another 2 breaths. Do it. One more. Exhale. Exhale. Release glutes to the earth. Reground the lower back. We'll do 2 more like this. Inhale, gently press into the hands and the feet. Lift. Squeeze the palm, squeeze the quad, They're turning inwards towards each other. Engage Mula Bandha, base lock. The anus muscles engage. Breathe here. One more. Exhale, gently release. This time we'll come into one-legged bridge. Keep the right knee as is. We'll straighten left leg, flex left toes towards us. Left leg's on a 45-degree angle. Inhale, rise onto, flat into the sole of the right foot. Lift the glutes, square the hips, breathe. Exhale, lower. Planting left sole into the earth. Taking right leg long, 45 degrees, flex right toes towards the face. As we're ready, inhale, press into the left sole, press into the hands. Find the balance, find the strength and the softness. Breathe. Activate the quads. Exhale, lower. Give ourselves another hug again. Bending both knees into the chest. We'll come into our supine twist. So twist on our back. So as we inhale, we let go of the knees. Take the arms out by the sides like a T. Rebend the knees, both 90 degrees. Back is flat on the earth. Inhale here. Exhale, let the knees float over to the left. If there's space in the neck, you can look towards the right. Beautiful. Staying here for a few breaths. Whenever we twist, we release any potential trapped nerves in the spine. Fresh prana to the Sushumna. 3 more breaths here. Easy. 2 more. Breath. Last breath here. Exhale. Next inhale. Float the knees back from center. And then exhale. Let them float over towards the right. The gaze can be up to the sky or over the left shoulder. Grounding, breathing. Reground the lower back. Exhale, bend the knees in towards the armpits, coming into happy baby. Taking hold of the, say, the ankles or the shins or maybe the outer edges of the feet. Opening up. Creating a new neural pathway of bliss. Childlike wonder at the world. Maybe we rock left to right on the lower back, massaging lumbar spine. Keeping that breath nice and silky smooth. Maybe we straighten one leg, bend in the other. Deepen the stretch. Maybe we switch it over, bending in the opposite knee, lengthening the leg, opposite leg. Beautiful. And then from here, if we can find our strap, that's great. Go on the back. If we have to come up onto the glutes and find it, that's okay. Find it and then come to lie back down again. Gently lift the strap in the middle of the feet, in the arches, and then bring the feet up towards the sky. Hands gently resting in the strap. Coming into our Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. Some friends with a bolster, it might be nice to bolster underneath the lower back, gently preferred, but all options available. Don't be give up. Full lymphatic drainage. Legs up the invisible wall. Allowing anything excess, anything we don't need, to wash away like water off a duck's back. Back into the earth, back into the ocean. Here for another 5 rounds of deep belly breathing. To your natural rhythm. And once we've completed our 5 rounds of breath, gently releasing the legs, releasing the strap, setting it to the side. Taking our body nice and long along the mat. Preparing for our Shavasana, our final resting pose. So taking any props you need. We may like a bolster under the knees that sometimes feels comforting, or a blanket. If anyone needs any props, please raise a hand. Happy to help. do you cope with pain? With your hands, honey. If you do it with your mind instead of relieving the pain, it toughens even harder. With your hands, Grandma? Yes, our hands. They're the antennae of our soul. If you move them, knitting, cooking, painting, playing, or sinking them into the ground, you send care signs to the deepest part of you, and your soul lights up because you're paying attention to it. Then signs of pain will no longer be necessary. Hands are really that important? Yes, my daughter. Think of babies. They start to know the world through the touch of their hands. If you look at hands of old people, they tell you more about their life than any other body part. Everything that is done by hand is said to be done with the heart. Because it's really like this. Hands and heart are connected. Beautiful words by Elena Bernabe. Starting to deepen our breath. Coming back into the room. Perhaps wiggling our soul, our hands, our toes. Maybe taking some wrist rolls, ankle rolls, sparking the body, enlivening it. Next inhale, let's lift the hands up and over the head. Full body stretch. Ready. We'll gently inhale and roll over to one side, cradling the head in the bicep. Maybe the knees are stacked on top of each other. A reintegration pose. Absorbing everything we've experienced, everything that we've felt, all sensation, all movement and all stillness, everything from our practice, taking it off the mat. Next, inhale, gently pressing ourselves up to a final comfortable seat. We may like to sit on a block, to elevate the hips above knee, or on the edge of a blanket or a bolster if we have one. Our choice. Going tall in the spine once more. Keeping eyes closed, or a soft gaze if we prefer. Bringing hands to the heart in a lotus flower shape, so the pinkies touch, the thumbs touch, and the three fingers sprout open, holding it close to our heart. I would like to seal this practice with 3 chants of the mantra Om. Feel free to join in. It stimulates the vagus nerve, helps us find our voice, and tunes us in with all that is, all that ever will be. Exhale the current breath. Deep inhale for all. Together in prayer, taking thumbs to the space in between the brows, third eye, a bow in appreciation of ourselves, of each other. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste. Thanks so much, everyone. Thank you. I hope you feel inspired, rejuvenated, and lighter. Pleasure, such a pleasure to have everyone that I love in this room. Thank you.
So, overflowing with joy and appreciation. So team, what we do now is we kind of gather around and we will feedback. So friends who are visiting, you're welcome to stay in this part. But you're also welcome to leave if you are. What would be nice is those who are staying for the lecture afterwards, after lunch, we're going to do assisting, adjusting, assisting, and I think the old gang can stay if you want. As well. So those who are going to stay, let us make a semicircle at the front, and those who are visiting and would like to stay for this feedback, and then maybe a semicircle around the back.
Wow, happy with you. Seems like a great undertaking. Some people finishing something.
It can be your first class.
Is it just because
once you get one,
Yeah, I just started.
You just have to enjoy it. Yes. Or salad. Or salad. I wasn't sure what it was. No, yeah, we'll take it. Yeah, take it.
Come and sit up here. Teacher's pet position. So, wow. What did everyone think? It's not bad.
amazing.
Yeah. You guys on the same?
Bye.
Next time.
Thank you for gracing us.
you. I felt quite emotional in a lot of that, just because I think we started together and it's been so like beautiful witnessing you on this journey. You've just completely embodied this practice and this life, and you're just so always overflowing with knowledge and wisdom, and I always feel like I'm learning something off you and on the mat and off the mat, and you're just like already you've arrived, and I can't wait to see what becomes of you next. But you're just such a beautiful teacher, Bella. Really just, I don't, yeah. That was it.
Thank you.
Oh my God, what even to add to that? It was, yeah, it's just beautiful. Like, just think that this is just the beginning of your journey. It's frightening, but it's exciting. Like, where to from here, it's just beautiful. And in terms of the flow, I always love something a little bit different. Just starting up standing, incorporating the straps, just added something a little bit different that I hadn't really done before. So to explore that was really beautiful. And yeah, just everything that you have to say, you just articulate everything so beautifully. You're so wise, and like she said, I learn so much from you every time I'm with you, you know. So thank you so much for your presence. It's been such a pleasure. Yeah, thank you.
I love how you incorporate so much movement in it, and like the sounds. It's so nice to release all that tension, and yeah, it was really good. I loved it.
My heart is so full. Oh, you amaze me every time. Like, I can't believe you're only just starting this. It's like you've been a teacher forever. It's just a natural. It's amazing. I can't really add much more on. Like, you're amazing, beautiful. Learned so much from you, and
yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you. It was really nice opening. I like that it was different as well. I like the message. I was never lost at any point. Was well instructed, and yeah, it's really good. Thank you.
And we'll welcome Matt. Matt's it's almost like a tag team here. Bella's departing.
Wait, are you joining?
And Matt's coming
No,
in.
I thought we were in classes. Makes sense.
It's one of the beautiful things about this whole teacher training is that it's quite fluid in that sense that we can drop in and drop out when the time is right. And yeah, Matt's dropping in and joining. I only found out just a little day before.
Yeah, it's pretty sudden. Yeah.
It's real delight to have you.
Thank you.
Matt. So,
Thanks. It was a good start yesterday. I started off with the Upanishads, talking about oneness. It was a good way to...
Straight into the deep end.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was magical, and what I really loved about what you just shared with us was I was nervous at first when you're like, you're going to feel the fire, and I'm like, shit, I'm ready for fire. But you made the fire gentle and nurturing, which I think is such a beautiful skill to have. So, thank you.
It's been like really for the entire time I felt like into the practice, like become a little bit emotional at the point, so it's amazing. Thank you.
Well guided, like really like confident in your like instructions and cues. I liked the difference, like hatha, like I don't normally do much hatha, so it's really good to kind of be doing different things at different places that I wouldn't normally done in that way. So it's really nice to have that variation and you can feel your own sort of style and element coming you and to know you a little and journey with you. So thank you.
These moments make my heart sing when you guys come up and do your SEVAs, because it's the embodiment of what you've been journeying with for the last however long one does it for. And so it's always such a beautiful moment. You're the only one here. A few of the others have left now, but you're the only one who's gone through the whole thing, and I'm the same. And it's it's always so beautiful. It's like all my children coming into their mature adulthood of yoga, into their graduation, and it's so beautiful. And I have to say, Bella, you really embody the essence of tapas really beautifully. You embody the essence of hatha, and that place of making that effort. You go the extra mile, more, I'm not saying necessarily more than anyone else, but I really see that in you beautifully, and I really appreciate it. You take that extra care, attention to detail. Get in touch with me often and ask me questions. You have a beautiful, inquisitive mind that really wants to understand and know, and that's just really beautiful. We can just do the minimum we have to do to pass the course, and that's fine if that's where one is at. But you actually put in that extra work, extra effort, extra love and attention, and it just shows, doesn't it? It shows beautifully. What you delivered today was just pure magic, and it was so beautiful, so beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm also really. I'm also really excited to see how your journey unfolds now that you're stepping into your teaching role. I mean, you've already been doing that for a while. You sneak that in early. But now, like literally you step out of summer healing and go elsewhere and shine your light out in the world. And it's going to be incredible. It's like you just see that, feel that, sense that. To your light, spreading the good news.
Thanks, Vicky. Thank you so much. Thank you all. I feel very, very full. My heart is full.
The sequence was beautifully created too. I mean, just the delight in receiving something so creative is so nice. Sometimes I suggest that you do what I say, as in follow this week's sequence. Here's a good watch my YouTube videos so you can get a good foundation, and that's all well and good. But gosh, if everyone just did the same as me, it'd be a pretty boring world, wouldn't it? So seeing that spark of creativity that you just ignite in there is just such a love. It really is. The music was wonderful, wasn't it? Just touched all the heartstrings in the right moments. And it was interesting actually, because I shortly ago when you played the soundtrack for the group SEVA class, and I meant to give feedback on that, and I never did because we got interrupted. Something happened, someone came in and we had to disperse. But that soundtrack, for me, wasn't quite right in the sense it was all a mantra soundtrack. It was an album I think that maybe you played, and it was a beautiful album, beautiful songs. But it didn't always suit the moment in the class. I think choosing the right music, if we are to play music, is really important about considering where we're going to hear that music and which point in the class. Because it can make all the difference to the experience. And yeah, the music flow for today was just spot on. I'd happily grab that playlist and leave it to my class. Absolute delight. So well done for that.
Thank you.
And for
Thank you for being a wonderful teacher. Really, truly. Yeah, you inspire me.
wow,
Inspire us
we,
all.
we inspire each other.
Yep.
We inspire each other.
Yeah, I felt a lot of joy in making in stringing this flow, this sequence together. I thought, let's salute both the sun and the moon, then get funky in between and just change things around. I'm like, okay, so we're gonna be facing the window there. And I was like, what am I doing? I'm like, yeah, it was good fun. It was a joy, and yeah, I felt very nervous this morning. I'm like, okay, like I couldn't sleep this morning. I'm like, oh my god, I had a dream that it wasn't going to plan. I'm like, oh no, and I was just like, okay, it's fine, just breathe, you got this. And Mum and Dad, I'm like, happy that they came. I'm so happy, and Aaron, and like, Dad's sitting in the corner getting the yoga through, just meditating. I'm like, bless him. So it's very, very happy. Okay.
It's I mean that's part of your tapas, part of that effort that you make actually. I mean it showed. Look at the class that you brought in today. We're not putting these on the schedule at the moment, so it's not like open to the public, but yet we allow people to come. But it's up to you to make that little bit of effort to get the people in. And it's so nice that you brought in your family, your partner, dear friends, and all the special people in your life. Really, it's really beautiful. I think really you did the same. You brought your family as well, didn't you? Which was so sweet. But it's again just testament to the effort that you make. Extra love. Thank you. So inspiration to all of us, isn't she?
I loved that little funky standing sequence you did where we went from goddess to something and then Skandasana. It's like, wow, this is cool. It's very, very cool. That whole little standing. It's like almost like dancing. Yeah. Very creative. Thank you.
Wow. I have a certificate for you online, and then give you a printed one at graduation. You guys are going to get back to me about the graduation chat.
Oh, yeah.
So make sure you let me know what you guys would like to do.
I can be there for the graduation. So,
and yeah, let's have a lunch break and let's graduate. It's 10 to 2. 10 to 2, should we come back 35 past? 35 past 2?
Yeah.
Is that enough time?
I think so, yeah.
Or 40 past 2? Let's come back at 20 to 3, that'll give us an hour, 2 hours and 20, that should be our system. Yeah? Yeah, let's do that. Obviously, there'll be a lot of practical, but there's a bit of theory as well. So we'll do that first because we just had lunch. So it's good to do that while we digest our lunch, and then we'll go into our practical. So,
I see it before, if that's all right.
yeah. Whenever you have to. Yeah. So you probably haven't got a manual yet, I assume.
No, I don't. I left a notebook here last night.
Is that the one? Oh, there was one there.
So you'll have to hassle Amy to give you a manual.
I did see one in the kitchen.
A manual.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's current or do you want me to?
You'll grab it.
Yeah.
Good to put your names on your manuals too, I reckon. Just in case things go walk about here, as things do. Okay, adjusting and assisting, it's before meditation, after muscles of the body.
Under this page, if you find thank you.
Thank you.
The hands.
Maybe Vicky one day should just take some time to write page numbers.
Well, no, the new one does have.
I know which one has.
Oh, in my own.
Yeah. Considering how many times we've been together.
Just like 5 minutes, like cleaning it up a little bit.
5 a day. Get there.
I think I'd like to rewrite the whole thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
One of these days.
When you've got like 6 months spare,
Yeah.
just rewrite the whole manual, the whole thing.
I actually started that project during lockdown.
Oh, you did?
So some of it is a re-edit of mine, but yeah, it was a bit
It's
overwhelming in the end. I was like, actually, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this whole thing.
It's a pretty big undertaking.
Yeah.
Random. I would like to help out with that, like after. So if there's anyone that does, like just the editing, the arranging, the sourcing,
Take her up on that.
Yeah, yeah, I think you could have a really good overhaul. Like I had that little bit of time where I shuffled things around and did a little bit of editing. But yeah, okay, so let's have a read through that. Adjusting and assisting. Adjusting and assisting is a controversial subject, but before we determine whether we like giving them or not, we should learn the knowledge of how to safely execute. Adjustments are usually given to students who've worked with before and are more hands-on. And assisting is usually a lighter touch and can be given to those that have given consent, but you don't know their practice or case history as well as people you would adjust. So that's kind of in a nutshell the difference between the words adjusting and assisting. Yeah, to various degrees.
So when you ask, how do you ask for permission? Do you say at the beginning of the class?
So this is something you would ask in the same way that you would ask about no injuries or whatnot. So with adjusting and assisting, it's almost, you as a teacher, I mean, it's only now that we can sort of do it again, really, because it was this whole COVID period of, technically you're not allowed to touch people, so it was all a bit tricky. Of course, I think here a lot of people didn't give a damn, and that was fine, that was good. But I know even for myself, I found it okay. There is this, have to respect some of these barriers that are being put up, which not necessarily agree with them, but if that's the way things are flowing, then you just have to work with it. So for the last couple of years, I didn't do any adjustment in classes, and only literally in the last few weeks, I've started myself going back to adjusting and assisting, so you approach it like you would when you're asking for injuries or whatnot at the beginning of the class. if you decide, now you don't have to, this is the whole thing, it says at the start, it's a controversial subject, whether we want to give them or not is your choice as a teacher. And there's all sorts of reasons, with the obvious ones of just being close to people, and some people still not comfortable with that, and maybe as a teacher you're not comfortable with that, and that's absolutely fine. It's not like you have to be doing it. But they are nice if you can get into it. I mean, I know as a student I'd love to be adjusted. I think it's beautiful to have someone to just guide you that little extra step into a pose. And the assisting part is different in a sense, because an assistant doesn't need to be a physical adjustment. Assisting can just be a verbal cue. So being tuned into a particular student and giving them that verbal cue, or a demonstration or whatever it might be, without necessarily touching. And so for that, you don't really need to be asking for consent. The consent comes with the actual touching. That's where that needs to be voiced. I think it's really important. It needs to be voiced at the beginning of the class. So how do you do it? Well, like all these things, you find your way to weave it into your opening or however you're starting your class. But I would say something like, hey guys, I'm going to come around and give some adjustments today. If anyone's not comfortable with that, just wave a hand, and that's absolutely fine. Some studios have those consent cards.
I've never actually seen them. I've heard of them, but I haven't been to a studio that actually. So how do
I can wear it during the class.
No, they're like little. They're usually like little coasters, almost like in the shape of a coaster. And it's kind of like a yes or a no, basically, and different colour schemes. So you put them at the front of your mat, yes or no. And so as you go around, you know who is good for it.
Yeah.
I've never actually used them ever in a class. La Yoga, where I work, they have them, but they're tucked away in the drawer. I don't think anyone uses them. Virgin Active, where I teach, which is they're a little bit more rigorous with their protocols. They're about to introduce it, and they're making a huge deal about it and giving us all this background info on it, and we had to have a little workshop on it and how to use the cards. But basically it's just a card you put there and it's yes or no. That's it. There's not much more to it. But it's in a sense it's not. I think it's not a bad idea, because even in the sense of put your hand up or acknowledge. Let me see if someone doesn't. Some people can be uncomfortable with displaying that, and I'm finding it's interesting here at Summer Healing. I mean, it's a different demographic. Summer Healing, it's pretty. Most people who come here are pretty open-minded. So no one's ever said no to adjusting. Never. Even before COVID, never had that. Whereas at Virgin Active, you get a few. Put their hand up. But yeah.
I think the cards are good as well though, because you have that option for dynamic consent. You can turn, you can say yes at the start, but during the class, you don't feel comfortable in the way, you have that option and that flexibility. So really giving those people that agency and control to be able to choose when they want to be touched and when they don't want to be touched.
Absolutely.
Sure.
What is Virgin Active?
Where?
What is Virgin Active?
It's a fitness centre, so it's a gym, you could say. The Virgin brand, so Virgin Airlines, Virgin Records, the same brand. It's Richard Branson, one of his empires. But they have a couple of centres in the city, Burke Street and Collins Street, and it's actually. Gyms are not always the nicest place as a yoga teacher to work at, but Virgin Active has actually got a dedicated mind-body studio space the yoga studio is pretty nice, and it's sort of the perks for being a yoga teacher there are bad too. You get to go and use the spa and the sauna and do all the nice things that you can do there because it's it's a nice place. So I've always used that as my excuse for I teach at Virgin because I get to go to the spa. But we've had always have this discussion with the group. Like, there's often some teachers get really on their high horse about, I'm not going to teach in a gym because I'm better than that kind of thing. And it's nice to teach in dedicated yoga studios because people are coming, especially for yoga. In the gyms, people are dropping in and you're just kind of like, oh, what's this yoga thing? Let's give it a shot, And they're on their phones and all the other things that they've got no idea about what we're doing with yoga. So some teachers find that no, I don't want to be in that space because it's not yogic, but actually I think it's a really valuable place for us to be as yoga teachers because it's where we can actually inspire people and plant those seeds. People are coming to a yoga studio already know to some degree what they're working with. Where in those places where people don't know, I think it's a valuable place.
It's accessibility, doesn't it? It comes with that.
And good access to resources that someone may not have otherwise approached.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is it, do you find it easy or difficult to find work after teacher training with different studios, or?
Well, good question. Generally, it can be tricky because a lot of studios are kind of like they want you to have 2 years of experience before. It's almost the expected thing, like 2 years of experience before we take anyone on as a teacher. And it's like, well, where do you get your 2 years of experience if you can't teach anyone? So your first couple of years are often. Not always. Some teachers are amazing. They just manage to really get in the flow with things. Renata's a great example. Who was here in the last or second last course. She graduated last year, I think.
February.
Sorry?
Yeah, I was there for the February ceremony. February.
Yeah. And she's teaching quite a lot of classes already. She's really sort of embraced all potential opportunities. It's all relative. Sometimes when you start off, you've got to do a lot of SEVA, meaning teaching for free. Some healing is a great place to do your TT because there are a lot of those opportunities. Amy likes to give those out, and so people start teaching here for free. And then there's a certain point where it's like SEVA becomes a real class, and then you start getting paid. But then you've got the experience to then be able to go to other studios and other places while I've been teaching for a year now.
Yeah, you can get creative and do the online sort of thing as well, making videos and.
Absolutely. The potential is endless.
Yeah.
It's not like there's no opportunities. Potential is there. It's up to you to be creative and find those opportunities. And they're definitely there.
Instagram Reels are where it's at because you get a lot of attention even if they're not even following you or anything. They'll just come across you.
Exactly. Another example in that ballgame is our dear friend Gabby, who teaches here. Most of you know Gabby. She also, I think she graduated about the same time. No, she graduated before Renata, I think. The year before last. And she's been doing beautifully, teaching some great classes here. The classes are wonderful.
Oh yeah, she said she does private sessions with people.
Yeah, she's been picking up bits and pieces and it helps also to connect with people like me or other teachers. I've given her some opportunities, covering some of my classes in other studios, and which has led for her to take on another class. But then the other day I was like, hey Gabby, you should apply for this festival and teach at this festival. And she was like, Maggie, I've got no online presence. I've got nothing online, and you know, because they ask for all that at the festivals. You know, they want to see your Instagram account, they want to see your Facebook, they want to see that you're out there doing stuff.
Is that Renaissance?
No.
Oh.
See, Renaissance I gave me the opportunity to teach there, and we managed to bypass all of that. But no, this is another festival, and so I just said, well, here's your opportunity to create that now. You know, like it's an interesting game in a sense, because it's like, as a true yogi, it's like you're really beyond all of that in a sense. You know, it's all just a game, really. Do you really want to play that game? But if you want to play that game, if you want to actually use this as a means to generate an income and get some gigs and all the rest, then you've got to play the game.
Yeah, ultimately, I'd love to live in just the yoga community where we don't have to have money. We can just kick it, have a good time. And survival is secondary, just great stuff.
Well, exactly. I mean, in India, the yogi is revered as a person on the spiritual path, and the whole community supports that. So you know, you're in part of a community, part of an ashram, part of a spiritual sect or whatever, or even you're just a sadhu on the street, whatever you are on the spiritual path, you're supported by the community. In Australia, there's no such thing. So you've got to actually go out and earn your bread and butter like everyone else, and if you want to do it doing what you love, then you've got to actually play that game of, okay, I need a bloody instrument, this and that. And so you do it, and you do it with love and the same presence that you do everything else, and use it as a way to work on your practice, and not attachment to the outcome of how many followers you have or all of that, but at least set yourself up to be able to get those gigs if that's what you want. Anyway, back to adjusting and assisting. Benefits of adjusting and assisting can help students find their centre, can assist students with safety in the poses, can help with the transmission of information, can assist the student find the point of balance that may otherwise feel unsteady, can help a student move into a pose. If the person's not doing the movement correctly, they're going to have a much more difficult time assuming the final shape. Adjustments and assisting may bring new inspiration to the practitioner's practice in life. Take a student into an expression of the pose that they are not able to do themselves. Oftentimes, with a little bit of support, a person can have a different experience of the pose and see where they may be fighting it or overworking. I always like to suggest to everyone who's doing this, taking this journey, is to go off and do some Iyengar classes at some point on your journey. Obviously during TT or before your TT, better. Spend a little time doing some Iyengar just to see, because Iyengar is the ultimate asana practice focused on this, on adjusting and assisting. It's all about that.
Just like, is it just like, what's Iyengar? Is like getting just into the right position?
Iyengar, so Iyengar is a man, BKS Iyengar. He was one of the students of Krishnamacharya, thank you. Krishnamacharya, who is revered as like the modern sort of godfather of modern day yoga in a sense. He had Iyengar, he had Patabi Joyce, and a few others as his main students. Iyengar then took that and developed his own form of yoga based on Krishnamacharya, but a form of yoga which is really focused on alignment. It's very alignment focused. So it's a great practice to get your solid foundations in Iyengar. It's really, really good practice to really understand the asana at a deeper level. And he uses a lot of props and a lot of physical adjustments. So any Iyengar teacher would do that. Iyengar teacher training is really rigorous. It's not 200 hours. It's like 5 years or something like that become qualified. You've got your levels too, level 1, level 2, level 3. But to become a qualified Iyengar teacher, it's a really, really in-depth course. Because of this real attunement to anatomy, to understanding the asana, the fine attunement. So that's who, we use Iyengar as our, this book here, Light on Yoga, is Iyengar's book, and we use that as a great reference manual for the asana. But Iyengar's also, we use his book to look at the Yoga Sutras. This one here, Light on the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, is also written by Iyengar. So he is the master in many ways, or one of the masters.
It's like about getting into perfect alignment. Over everything, yeah.
And so yeah, we don't. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any Iyengar here at Sun Hill. Used to be, but there are some dedicated Iyengar studios. There's one at Clifton Hill. I think there's one in St Kilda. There used to be. Well worth going and just dropping in and doing some classes because.
Are they an hour as well?
Usually they're longer.
Yeah,
Usually they're an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd love to do it.
Yeah, the Clifton Hill Yoga Studio is really good.
The Clifton Hill one. I don't think I've ever done my Iyengar class.
Yeah, highly recommend you all go and do some. We should do excursions.
Go to temples and stuff.
So one example is Gomukhasana, cow face pose. Students often try to put their arms into the position without first making enough space at the shoulder joint before rotating the shoulders and elbows so that the hands can reach one another. You could use your hands to help the student find more space in the shoulder and or elbow before the student reaches the arms back. You can also manually help them rotate their arms, externally for the top arm, internally for the bottom arm, to achieve the correct depth of movement in the pose. For instance, in Uttita Trikonasana, extended triangle pose, people often come off their center because of tight hamstrings, distributing too much weight over the front leg and sticking the buttocks out. See that a lot. To help a student be more balanced in this pose, a teacher can stand behind the student and act as a wall. The teacher's hip to the student's buttocks. Then the teacher can use one hand on their hip crease to help the student to cup the hip in, and another hand on the lower belly to teach the student to draw the navel in and turn from their center instead of from their upper body. In Paschimottanasana, seated forward bend, people often use their arm strength to pull themselves down, which leaves them overworking the shoulders and neck and unable to reach the deeper expression of the pose, in which the torso comes closer to the legs. You can help the student reach in a deeper expression of this pose by using the inner edges of both shins to bear weight on the student's lower back and then gently applying pressure to help them fold forwards. Use your hands on their shoulders to keep reminding them to soften there, and telling them to move from the navel. They will go deeper with less struggle. The most important thing to do before giving an adjustment is to determine your intention. This means observing the person in front of you and being clear about why you're adjusting him or her before adjusting. Are you trying to help a student with alignment, or help find a deeper expression of the pose that they might not be able to find without your assistance? Are you adjusting a student in order to prevent injury? Or maybe they need to find more space for their breath. Know your intention before placing hands on a student so that your adjustment can be direct and useful. So yeah, good points there, because that's the other thing, like when you're making that choice, okay, I'm going to offer adjustments in this class. It's useful to, if you're making that point and everyone's said yes, it's actually, I find it's great that if you can, to then make sure you adjust everyone in the class. In a sense, because if students are seeing you're going around giving some beautiful adjustments to people, but then they're not getting one, they can feel a bit left out. Now, sometimes it might be a class of 40 people, big classes, and so it's hard to get around to everyone. So you could have potentially a little disclaimer at the start saying, okay, I'm going to give some adjustments. I probably won't be able to get around to everyone, but if anyone has an issue with adjustments, let me know. Something like that. But even on that, it is possible to still at least, whereas touch can be seen as a taboo thing, in this instance, the touch is what we're after. So even just a really simple touch, let's say you've got your arms up, whatever pose, she's in a warrior pose, and I'll just come around and just put the foot up with you. Like just a very simple, just encouragement, whatever it might be, just encouraging expression of the pose without having to get in there and give a proper physical attachment to everyone, adjustment to everyone, so that everyone gets validated to some degree. You've gone and connected with everyone, even in the simplest level.
That's really interesting because I feel like when I go to a class and people are being adjusted, I've never had the thought of, they didn't adjust me. Because I always just assume you kind of adjust I guess everyone needs it to some degree, not always, but I just assumed like you would just adjust someone as you see it, not necessarily looking for what they're doing wrong to adjust them. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's interesting what you said about about trying to get around to adjusting everyone, even just so slightly like you did with Ella. I wouldn't have thought of that at all.
Yeah, it's weird how people perceive things differently. Some people could take it like, oh, mine must be perfect.
Yeah.
And then just
I just guess never really.
So and good point. I mean, and that's why these questions like, what's your intention with each person? Why are you coming to adjust them? One, it could be because they're new and they're struggling. I mean, definitely if you feel, what they're doing could be endangering themselves, then you're in there immediately to assist them or adjust. It can be an assist. It doesn't need to be a physical hands-on adjust. It can be an assist. Just say, hey, Gemma, just those toes need to come in a bit because that knee's angled too far out. Just bring it back in. And just the direction of your hand to encourage it back in. That kind of thing is often enough. And usually, if it's a new student, I find I prefer not to be hands-on because you're still unsure of your relationship with them, whether they're going to be comfortable, even if they haven't put their hand up at the start, but they might have done that just purely out of no one else's be singled out kind of thing. But often new students is where you don't want to get too hands-on with them, and instead the students who've been coming for a while, that's where you actually get more hands-on with them because they're a bit more comfortable and you've got a little relationship, and then it's more about just taking them deep into the pose. It's not about necessarily adjusting any mistakes, any danger, but just giving them that deeper experience of the pose. So you can tell if a student's responding well to an adjustment, and if you can, go deeper with it by looking for these signs. Their breath is steady and even, not short or blocked. Their muscles and soft tissue give in to your touch and don't contract or freeze. And their face is relaxed and not scrunched.
Good sign.
And it's it's all those signs are there when you're coming around and you've made the announcement, or you've started adjusting people. Often that's what I find. People can get a little ambivalent about, I'm going to get adjusted, and they can get, like, even before you touch them sometimes, you can just walk up to them and you can already feel their breath starting to stagger, and face scrunching up. It's like, oh, he's coming. he's coming for me. And so the worst thing you can do then is just go in. Then it's more about just, in a sense, just reassuring them that everything's okay. Okay, take a deep breath first. Let's do that. Nice deep breaths. Everything's okay. Just relax a little. And then you come in. And then even once you've come in, keep encouraging that breath, and maybe you breathe with them. Just you exaggerate your own breath. Almost like when you have a Thai massage, or certain massages where they ask you breathe and breathe out, and they move you into the position. It's the same in a sense with adjusting.
I love when a teacher is assisting and they come next to me and they do this, they'll do the pose that I'm in, and they'll just show me. It's like I'm getting a little private lesson. That too. That's a nice way of assisting someone.
Bella's really good at doing that. She'll make when she makes a class, or a vague announcement to everybody, but it'll apply to you. I don't know if she did that on purpose, but yeah, I feel like everybody going over for the yin, and then going over say everyone calm, deep breaths, and then when mild breathing probably got a bit excited.
Who was doing that?
Bella.
Oh, Bella.
Yeah.
Right. So keep them centered. Finally, remember that as a teacher, you're there to help stabilize your students. Every pose is a balancing pose, from the more obvious one, legged Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, to a seated twist like Ardha Matsendrasana, half folded fishes, because we're always working with gravity. To help students maintain their balance, make sure you stabilize them even as you shift part of their body in another direction. For instance, if you adjust someone in Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose, then you need to stabilize the pelvis. If you start to adjust the chest and don't stabilize the pelvis, the person's going to fall. One part needs to be stabilized in order to move another part, she says. The teacher, you also need to be on your own point of balance. You have to be stable, he says. You have to have your prana, life force, and sunk down into your belly and be in your legs and in your feet. Then, when you put your hands on the person, you can do it in a way that doesn't throw them off balance. Perhaps the most important thing to remember is that, like anything else, learning to adjust students probably takes time. Even the best instructors started by giving small adjustments to their students as they worked up to more difficult ones. Have patience, practice regularly, and you'll find that your skills and confidence will increase always over time. So make sure the following is always considered before adjusting or assisting. Ask for consent. Ask if they have any injuries or their cultural background approves on touch. Use the palm of your hand versus the fingers. Don't press on bone. Know the correct direction of the biomechanics of that pose and direct them towards that direction. Put out the fire first. So, yeah, some good points there. Using your palm rather than the fingers. Why would that be better, do you reckon? In adjusting.
More pressure. Pressure, strong word, but more stability than fingers. Fingers.
Yeah,
fluid.
that's one reason, absolutely.
Less intimate as well.
Sorry?
Less intimate using.
Like not as intrusive.
Yeah, less intimate using your palms as opposed to your fingers.
Yeah,
don't know if that's the right way to articulate it.
Yeah, you're both on the right track. So using your palm is, you've got more stability. The fingers, you can slip a bit more. So there's not as much stability, so palms keep more stability. But also, the fact that you're coming in with your palm, it's like you're making a...
Bring in awareness. There's more awareness with the palm.
There's more awareness, there's more of a conceited, I'm here to hold you, to guide you. With the fingers, it's almost, sometimes it feels a bit hokey, you can feel like you're just being poked. And you don't feel as nurtured and as held by someone using their full hand, full palms. It's relative again. I mean, in an assist, it might be a case of you're doing the warrior 2. Someone's got their arms out, and you might just come, and just guide their fingers or guide the arm up with a gentle, directed flow, like what it says here. The direction of the biomechanics of the pose, and so that's that. And it doesn't have to, you don't have to be with your palm in a sense. Then the fingers are nice to direct that energetic aspect of it, and that's all you need. But if it's a nice assist where you're really kind of coming in and doing a nice adjust rather than really going a bit deeper, then using your fingers is going to be a bit pokey.
Yeah, poky's not nice. Especially if it's too light and you don't know if they're touching you or not. Yeah.
Don't press on bone.
Why would we press on bone?
I'm asking you.
Is it a bit more rough? And it startled them? I don't know. Could hurt. Might be.
Yeah, look, again, it's relative. It's relative. Sometimes.
Injury? What if you push it a bit harder?
Yeah, but pressing on bone is not comfortable, generally speaking, for the body. If you're coming and let's say you're doing a forward bend, someone forward bend, come on, see that? Paschimottanassa, just where you are, do your forward bend. And if I come here and I put my hand in the middle of the back, how's that feel? Not nice, is it? Right onto your vertebra. But if I'm hands either side, that feels okay, doesn't it? Yeah.
More gentle.
But how would you adjust the pelvis and the knees?
Well, that's when I say it's relative.
Yeah,
Sometimes you need to grab hold of the hip and pull it back, and you're on bone, I guess.
Yeah.
But you're not, at the same time, you're not kind of pressing in it.
No.
You're still you're directing it into the right direction. So generally, there's never any pressing of the bone. If the bones are being touched or held, it's more even like saying a spine twist, where you're going to be pressing into the shoulder, but it's not pressing into it. It's like directing the shoulder into the direction you want it to move or rotate. So know the correct direction of the biomechanics of that pose and directing towards that direction, which we discussed. But even so, that's a simple one. Is the direction of the fingers in your warrior 2. But in Bala, can you come into maybe on the mat here? Can you come into side angle pose?
Extended side angle.
Extended side angle. Maybe bound extended side angle if you're up for that. So knowing the direction of where this is going, so there's a few things obviously. There's the direction of that leg grounding into the floor, so potentially you could have a foot there to stabilise that, to encourage that anchoring. And then what do you feel the biomechanics of this is? What's the direction of this pose? Where are we going? Going that way, but also
shoulder coming back.
there's that shoulder coming back, so there's a sense of this kind of rotation happening, isn't there? So we want to encourage that rotation. So obviously we want to be drawing that shoulder back, don't we? But if I'm just using that hand there, then potentially she's going to fall over that way. So I need to counteract that with something down here. So here I am around her waist or the bottom of the rib cage. Bottom of the rib cage is actually quite nice because it gives me something solid to hold. And then from there, you know, I can lift up in that direction, get into her breath, so we're breathing together. And then moving there, so we're rotating in the direction that we want to go. Something like that. And that was also really useful, just to keep that foot there, so that she's keeping her ground. That wasn't there, but it feels a little less stability.
Yeah, she does that.
Yeah, I think I've had those experiences of being adjusted but not being stabilised. They make it more challenging to stay in it. You get a bit wobbly. Yeah, and then to orient yourself and then be like, which way was I going? Yeah.
Come up and Trikonasana. Can we go back to reading through that Trikonasana part? Bella, would you mind reading that?
Trikonasana, yeah. For instance, in Utthita Trikonasana, extended triangle pose, people often come off their center because of tight hamstrings, distributing too much weight over the front leg and sticking the buttocks out. To help a student be more balanced in Utthita Trikonasana, a teacher can stand behind the student and act as a wall.
Wall.
Exhibit A.
Caress the wall.
Teachers kick to the students' buttocks. Then the teacher can use one hand in their hip crease to help the student to cut the hip in. And another hand on the lower belly to teach the student to draw the navel in and turn from their
not
center.
so much into that, but you could. But that's a little bit private.
Yeah, the belly.
I normally wouldn't do that. But I would do that.
Okay, so on the wrist, the upper
So this is lifting, and this is drawing back.
Okay.
But you know, exactly, we've got the wall there, and she's stabilised. And I can really encourage that drawing back and that lifting here. If I wasn't there, that's what you were saying about sometimes being adjusted, I'm not stabilised, and I feel very wonky. So stabilising is really important in adjusting. And, you know, and look, you can do it without stabilising too. Let's say you don't have enough time or dedication that you want to actually be there for a while, and you know you're moving about, or suppose where you hold for a short time, come back again. Go the other way, just to even yourself out. So let's say I don't have the time or the dedication to do that full stabilise and really work with it, then I could still just lightly adjust. Move on. So lifting, pulling that back, but I'm not doing a deep adjustment. If I want to do the deep adjustment, I need to be there to stabilise. And then that deep adjustment can happen. But a light adjustment can happen, which just encourages that direction of the flow of the pose.
It's nice.
So let's start. I think that was it for what's written there, isn't it? Yeah. Let's let's start to have a little practice. And it is a topic that takes it takes a bit of practice, this one. And it comes in time. It's not like you get it straight away. It's something that you build up over time. But let's have a start practicing. What we'll do is we'll approach a few different poses and we'll sort of team up. Right, so we've got an even amount of people. So we'll partner up and try a few different poses with each other. So one taking turns with each other. So ideally it's good if we can, just for the sake of the exercise, and you guys are all pretty, there's no major differences in body sizes or shapes. If it's a similar body size or shape, it's not a bad thing to work with. So, grab a partner and
Sure.
and let's start with the one we just explored in that I did video, Trikonasana. So Trikonasana, so coming into the pose, and it's good also to kind of as the student to do it badly. So one of the bad things that we often see is bent knee. Yeah. So you don't even need necessarily to be hands-on adjusting for that. You can just be give an assist, a verbal assist with the bent knee. So straighten the leg, straighten it. Yeah, okay. Good. And then when there's this bottom out kind of thing happening, and the arm there, or the opposite is the arm all the way that way. Actually, that's often the case as well, because you're pulling the arm back. Often it's there. But then some people exaggerate, particularly if they've got hyperflexion in the shoulder, then the arm goes more the other way. So it's a sense that you want to direct one arm to the sky, you want to draw that hip back, try to get the hips in line, and try to get the shoulders in line. Another nice thing that you could do, and then come to the is Trikonasana. So that is one thing, just to do that. But another option is to kind of draw that shoulder back there. You can pull that shoulder back there. The idea to stack the shoulders, but also stack the arm, so that it's not back this way, too much that way.
Is it part of adjusting to to give them a block? If you can see that would benefit them
So
as well.
that we would say part of assisting. Yeah.
Assisting, assisting.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. And that's where a bit of Iyengar training would really help with that. But yeah, you could definitely offer a block in certain poses. I mean, Trikonasana, you don't need a block. You can, you could have a block to the floor, hand to the outside, hand to the block, and work into it. But yeah, we can also just use the hand. There's different ways in which you go into Trikonasana. Some would have the hand on the leg, some hand open in front, some using the block. Often people go to reach the earth in Trikonasana, but what that often does is it turns the hips and you get that pokey bum thing happening.
That's why I think a block would help with that, because it gives them something to still press on. They need press out of.
No, blocks can be handy. I sometimes work Trikonasana with a block. I sometimes do encourage that. Ardha Chandrasana, definitely. Again, you don't have to. Some people can get the hand to the floor comfortably, but for many, you need that block. So anyway, try Trikonasana with your friend. And give each other feedback. Give each other feedback too as to how it feels.
leg.
You're doing it perfectly.
No, but whatever you just did just then, as soon as I felt that like felt nice, so I did like keep going, do what you're doing.
Are you okay if I give you some touch?
Yeah, like as soon as you just opened up my hip a little bit there.
Not bad, but you could have worked, you could do a little further back, so you could make that wall there.
It actually works so much.
And maybe bring that back afterwards.
Do you want to try and block? Yeah. Can I just block?
Nikki?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wait, so,
Was it that lip?
yeah.
Yeah. And then let's do skip it on.
That was good stretch.
Yeah.
Good stretch, yeah.
Is that suited on? Does that actually do it? Yeah.
I feel like
It's really good. Yeah. Okay, so let's just combine legs the idea
That was good, yeah.
hips over the yeah, and then slight rotation.
it's funny because like when I
Yeah,
did that
now,
to you,
yeah,
I feel
what I
like
see
I'm doing it.
is
So when my head
a
roll.
little bit of flexion there. So yeah, just
It does more than what you think.
so it's the ones on
What hip did you have again?
that. So what other ones?
So do you mind if you yeah, like I'll watch you.
Well, I thought like kind of like
I have my left knee.
Oh, left.
but
Yeah.
I don't think that's I think this is like Warrior One. Feel comfortable? Oh no, Warrior One.
Not really, but
This is sort of like one thing.
that's very tight in the hand.
Yeah, no, my house has more kind of like on the tight.
Do the hamstrings?
Yeah, I'll try
Yeah.
We'll just put a little bit more towards your back. It makes a difference.
That was that just do it. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Because this way it's kind of like you're going to be fine. Teaching them to twist it towards the hip on the side. And it's like two panes of glass. And yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, so how can I keep
So that's good, yeah, what I'm seeing though, this is so probably want to work a little bit on drawing that shoulder back, stacking the shoulders. Does that feel right?
Yeah, that's
Harder?
Yeah.
And feel free to try the stomach thing as well and just notice how that feels.
Yeah.
You doing it.
Complete form.
That's where it can be a little bit funny if you start to use it.
Like whereas the palm has a bit more.
Well, then it's more, it covers more space.
Yeah.
So you know,
Force?
yeah. That's what I was just saying, like, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Do you want to try this?
Sorry?
It's fine.
Yeah.
Touch away.
Thank you for the permission. Alright, so we do the hip. And then,
So, your position, I will have my left hand here.
is that making you different?
Kind of rolled me up a
A
little
little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Breathe in.
Try another one.
And,
Try that on.
Yeah.
No, we'll do Warrior 2. Warrior 2's next. Warrior 2 is a great one. Where you get some Awful things going on.
Yeah, so
Well, before we go into Warrior 2, what are some of the common mistakes that we see in Warrior 2? The feet not wide enough, so that the front knees.
Because yeah, that's
Legs wide and
yeah, it's just like sometimes like I don't know what
Wide
to
open.
yeah.
And making sure that knee is not floating in.
Yeah.
There's so many
Stack joints.
There's so much.
Yeah, there's so much.
Ankle, yep.
Yeah.
And then the positioning of the feet to be precise, like the heel ideally aligns with the middle arch of the back foot.
Between the middle arch and the heel.
And the heel? Okay, yeah, so it doesn't, yeah, there's that wiggle room.
Yep.
And then side on, sometimes people are more like on that 45-degree angle where it's, we're facing that way, but the head's being moved forwards, you know.
And then the direction of the body as well. Often you get that body leaning forwards. Body's upright. Arms shoulder height, so often that back hand's down. You know, there's all these kind of things going on. Walking like an Egyptian. Arms nice. The things you see.
People would do that. People would do that. I just saw it.
So this is one where you often just do a lot of assisting. You do a knee type thing. So I would come around, out of that knee, just come through back. So you can just, with your hand, just direct the energy where you good. The arms and shoulder. This is where you might do a little gentle. Caress. And body nice and upright. And then, so when people are leaning forward, simple, just pull them back. Pull them back. Sometimes that can be off-putting, it can be taken out of balance. So this is where you could potentially, if you're comfortable with your students, you could stabilise with one foot on the hip and pull them back that way.
Could you also put your foot on their
You can do that again as well.
Does that work?
Yeah.
In the same way?
And you know, particularly if there's some of that going on, and you draw the shoulders back in alignment. So one hand is directing the energy that way.
Yeah.
And the other hand is stabilising, foot stabilising. So there's a few things here I'm doing to stabilise. And then I might just gently say, and we're looking across the fingertips there. Moving the head in the right direction. And if she still hasn't got that, I might even come in and go that knee just a little bit more out. And but maybe it's not wide enough the stance. I might say deepen the stance, widen the stance, walk that back a little. Good. And this is a nice thing to do, this foot over the other foot to stabilise, but it also encourages that pressing into the outer edge of the foot, which is a big part of these standing postures, lifting up the inner arch of the foot. So you can say that while you're doing that. So let's stabilise to the outer edge of the foot, kind of lift the inner arch of that foot, then press on, make it strong and stable. And there we go. Relax the shoulders and draw them back. There we go, guys. Oh, and the other thing is you often get the bottom sticking out. This one, bang, sticking like that. So that's another one. That's a little hard. You don't really sometimes you feel like you want to just bring it in the right position, but you can just very gently, if you wanted to, get your hands in there, just on the back of the hips, and just say, tuck the tailbone under, so tailbone down, so just encouraging that towards. But usually, you don't.
Could you use your leg against her thigh to push, as in her back thigh? Her back thigh, or her front thigh, if her butt was sticking out. Does that?
You could potentially do something like that, yes.
Yeah, that's
Not being creative.
Yeah.
I'll get to it when I find it. Actually, maybe it's in Trikonasana actually.
What did the
Oh no, Padavita Trikonasana.
oh, revolved?
Yeah, revolved Trikonasana. So there is, do you want to do that? I'll just show you. Go that way. So revolved Trikonasana. Yeah, that and down there. So revolved Trikonasana, it's quite a, you know, if I start to adjust here without stabilizing, I should topple over and release it. So this is a great one to get in there and actually grip her. And then you can adjust, you know, putting that directing the position of the hips, letting them square. So usually that left hip needs to come back a bit and lifting this up towards the ceiling. So really stabilizing. So if I wasn't there, with my neck stabilizing that and doing any of that, you know, she's pretty strong in the pose. But most people will topple over that. Have a go at both of those. Warrior two.
Warrior two, already warrior two.
And then Padavita Trikonasana.
Okay.
Alright, let's.
Do you want me to like do a bad one?
I'm just going to get your hips in line to start the foundation.
Bending into that right knee. I feel we can do it this
That was good, that was like opening up. Yeah.
so that the heel aligns with around the middle of the arch.
So my
Back to the heel to the middle arch.
Yeah.
A little bit deeper bend into that right knee. Ensure you're straight
You could probably, you could actually,
if you want to sit into your knee, and then to adjust the shoulders.
Do you want to sit on the back foot as well? I feel like
On the side so instead of 2 paces off,
This foot is just going to shuffle up.
the arms shoulder height, take our gaze down.
Yeah, honestly, as soon as you pulled me forward, then you stood on my back foot, that kind of like centered me.
See where the other tendency to drop.
Yeah. Yeah.
pulling.
That's again just
How does that feel?
we lean more into it.
Not leaning too far forward, not leaning too far back. So say if we were too far forward, let's gently just reverse it. Okay.
Eyes gazing forward.
So here we are. Cheeks. Okay. Move your front foot slightly.
That's really good. That's nice thing. Yeah, 'cause I was thinking
When it's Padavita, so in Trikonasana, the hips are square to the side.
It's like as soon as you open up the hip, and that's when the knee comes in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's nice.
So actually, when you
Yeah.
take
That's nice.
Place my hands on your feet.
imagine 2 railway tracks that
Rotate your
skid,
hips and then face
skid,
towards
so
your
you stay on that same
Can I just
trajectory, skids.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, do you want to do the other side or would you revolve? Do revolve. I honestly the most adorable thing I've ever seen. By the way, I'm obsessed. Did you get that overseas?
So,
Or
I actually thought that when I first come to the red, they were leaving like painting,
yeah.
clearing out the closet recently.
So that, turn those toes.
Did she know that like that was Yes, yeah. Oh, was that kind of in auto? Yeah, that's adorable. Oh my god.
I would tell you just to know if I can do an adjustment.
For this one? Yeah, that one was someone
So your right hip back.
Yeah, that'll be
Does that feel good?
yeah. Pull my one shoulder.
Square the hips. This is where you come in. Come in, helping to square the hips. And down.
Fold to
Trikonasana. Yeah.
It's a strong pose.
What does extended mean? I think that's extended. Revolver is
What is
is that revolve?
Rises in revolution.
And then what's extended?
So they're supposed to be straight.
Guys, just for the foundation of Paravrita Trikonasana, just because it's the one that we mightn't address in the class yet, and it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one to really get it. So whereas Trikonasana, we've got the hips square to the side, yeah, and the front foot's in line with the inner arch or the heel of the back foot. That's Trikonasana, so we're maintaining the integrity of the hips being on the side, yeah, square to the side, coming down that way. In Paravrita, it's the opposite. We have the hips square to the front, so it's better to have a little shorter distance with the feet. And the feet, imagine you're skiing, you've got two skis on, yeah, so you're skiing, so you keep that foot in line with the ski, turn it out, but you see, so now the feet are about sort of hip width apart if we're square to the front. Because if you're like that, then it's hard to get those hips all the way to the front, so it needs to be out, like warrior one, exactly. And then from there, then you bring the leg that's forward, you bring that arm behind you, you bring the other arm up to the scale, you open the heart, and so you bow forward with a straight back as best you can. Most of us will need a block on the other side of the foot there. If you can, you reach the floor, but otherwise a block. And then that hip's still going to turn out. That's where your assistant will bring the hips back, stabilize you with that leg. And then from there, hips stabilize, legs stabilize, then you reach up. And then there's still a tendency to do these things. And that's where the adjustment comes in.
Square the hips.
Square the hips and square the body as well. We want the twist to happen, but we don't want the body going out to the side to keep it nice and light.
So we shouldn't be putting weight on the shins in that position. It should go to block on the floor.
A block, yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't have a block, you can just put it on the shin. A block's better.
Can you put it on the outside of the shin?
You can. There's another
Because
option.
is that you?
That's another option. That's, yeah.
Is it LP?
Number one option, hand to the floor.
Yeah.
Number two, on a block. Number three, outside of the leg. Number four.
Yeah. Yeah.
Facing. Let's go.
So that one's do you mind if I ask? Okay, so you want to yeah, and then do you want to extend the arms? Yeah, yeah. And so then that heel. So wait, do you still want to touch the floor? Yeah, and then we'll just rotate. So breathe in. Exhale. Push me over. Breathe in. Do you feel quite grounded?
It's okay.
Is the floor available?
Yeah, I'm excellent.
Thank you.
Shuffle on it. Just bringing maybe we just one more level.
They are square. Yeah. I think that's fine.
Shoulder there.
And
it's very diagonal.
Sometimes you can't
Push
tell unless you've done
together,
the
hips
same.
like this, or
That's the hard thing with it, because at least now we sort of communicate with each other. When
Yeah.
we're doing it
Oh,
in
yeah.
class, like how do you signal that?
And so just
You're getting right finger. Yeah.
You can ask in the
I
class.
was going to say,
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
you know, if you've adjusted someone, can you ask them, does that feel?
Yeah,
do
that's
you
good.
communicate with them? Yeah, so because it was you like, I feel like, as the person doing it, as the person doing it, I feel like I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I did suggest that at the start. Give yourself a speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, we're doing
respond.
yeah.
How does that feel? I asked you. How does it feel?
Yeah.
Feels
Yeah.
probably deeper there.
Yeah. Take a right foot forward
Okay.
without left foot. Shifted out.
Yeah, you're just trying to create more consent and yeah, exactly. So, we'll try it on the side.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Because I feel like
That is really nice. Yeah. What's your like towards?
So should the hips be in line with each other or on that angle?
Yeah.
In line with each other, yeah. So, you know, in this sense, I've been there, that to stabilise it, and that easy.
Lots of these like
And then it's more square.
that.
Checking in how you're feeling there, James. Okay. Feel like bring it out. Keep that hand there for a little while. Until it should stay. So when you're done with this one, we'll do another one.
Like it's hard, like yeah, like usually like a split.
What about
Yeah, that's what I was going to do next.
Yes.
But I was going to say for the next one, let's find another body so that you can get used to another body. So partner switch for the next one.
Good after lunch.
So just flow.
yeah.
You guys want to switch?
Yeah, you can have a
Those guys can switch with each other. The guys switching partners. Find another person. And downward dog. So downward dog, there's quite a few things that we could do, that we could look at. Do you know anything in downward dog that you've had adjusted with you before?
Yeah. Hips and sort of lifting them up on the side, like
With the straps as well.
Yeah, with the strap on the hip.
Yep.
Feels good.
And a knee in the knee in the neck.
On the back of the neck. Yeah.
Like when someone's in downward dog.
Show me.
Yeah.
Can you show me?
Get something like this.
Oh,
Was it that what Amy did? Or she did that?
As you pull up, it's
Or you pull up. There's a knee in the and pulling up the hips. There you go.
Oh, you know what it was? It oh no, was it standing on the hands or was it something else? Maybe that was it.
Does that ring any bells?
No.
But yeah, I keep finding new things. This is wonderful. That's a new thing for me.
Amy did that one.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It's definitely an option. So that's one. Someone else downward dog for me? Downward dog volunteer?
Yes.
So that's one. Now, one thing that we often see is just we can do with a gentle assist is the fingers are not spread wide enough. I mean, her fingers are fine, but often people are like that in their downward dog. So you really want to get them and encourage that whole hasta bandha action. So you can do that with an assist. Just talk them through their hasta bandha. So gripping the floor with the fingertips, pressing into the heel of the hand, and trying to lift up through the inner part of the hand as well. Pressing the floor away. Now, all of you guys are pretty good, got pretty nice downward dog, but often there's a hunch in the back as well. Do you want to do a hunch for us? So, yeah, kind of like that, like hunching. And so sometimes it's tightness in the hamstrings, and so often, you just tell them to bend the knees, and often just opening up there. So encouraging the shoulder blades to open. So it's this kind of directional thing again, energetic direction of going like that, spreading the shoulder blades apart. So that's, thank you. Spreading the shoulder blades apart. So that's one thing. And then, like Bella said, lifting the hips up and back. That's always a goodie. Someone mentioned the strap. Strap is a nice way to do it too. You come around with the strap and you kind of lift up and then you pull back.
Oh, that's so good.
And then that's almost taking away that whole downward pressure over the body, counteracting that. And that kind of gives you really, again, it's a directional, energetic directional thing, but obviously a force. But it's moving people into the direction of where they're wanting to go with this. Because it's like all the things, it takes time to build that flexibility in the body mostly. And then other options, this is one I learned recently, is threading the arms, like you cross your arms, go to their inner thighs, swap down. Does that feel?
Yeah, I feel it very strongly in my hamstrings.
So you actually intend.
Yeah, rotation
of the thighs.
Of the thighs from this sort of thing to this sort of thing. Yeah.
That's a good one.
And then also the direction of what we're trying to do with the arms. So we're, in a sense, you're trying to, in downward dog, it's almost like there's two counter directions of rotations happening. The upper arm, you're trying to externally rotate that, and then the inner arm internally. It's sort of kind of like a sponge or something. So you could encourage that just by, just by even just drawing that back. That way, about that way. Is it right? Or is it that way?
I think the other way. So the elbows
No, it's
face
this way.
towards the back of it.
It's this one, isn't
I
it?
was watching a video, I don't know if this helps, but to like create more space, you kind of like bend your arms, you rotate them in, and then you push away. So I don't know if that creates the right, so like push them out, and then bring them in and then push away. It kind of creates that.
It's that. With the other arm, so it's
This.
but then
Yeah, like that. And then push away. So then while in downward dogs, then you've kind of created more space in the shoulders there. Yeah.
So there are two different movements here and here, sorry? Yeah, so this one is this one's like the arms again.
So rotating the upper arm that way and then the inner arm that way. It's a really weird thing. It's really subtle there. But it's kind of like opening up there. Then see, look at this. See, it's like opening up here and externally rotating from the shoulder, but then bringing the hand back the other way while keeping that external rotation in the shoulder. So internally rotating there, externally there. So you get this kind of.
You have to keep the arms away from the ears, right? So
Yeah.
that your hands are straight. Yeah.
Middle finger's pointing ahead. Often people go out like that, so you can redirect the hands back. So that, and then the final one is, do you want to come back to it? The final option is a more of a connection, more intimate, if you're comfortable with your students, is to actually get in there like this. And so you're pressing your chest into their kind of middle to lower back, and then you're pushing up. And so you're stabilizing in a sense with your belly on their middle back, and you're giving them that direction. That feels pretty good, doesn't it?
It's like acronym.
What are you doing?
See, good job.
Is your chest?
Yeah.
Yeah, under your belly.
My
Yeah,
belly.
because I felt quite soft.
Yeah, it was
felt
my
quite
belly.
soft.
My
Yeah,
belly
yeah.
was in your middle back.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Guess you have to talk them through that.
You can get even a lot more funky with it if you want to go full acro, you know.
Okay.
Full acro you can do, how does it go again? I think you lie on there. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Do this one.
Oh my god.
I think this is it. Yeah. So you could go back like that.
Ooh, how does it feel, Lydia?
Yeah, it feels quite stable. Yeah, it doesn't feel like that much effort.
Were you lying like this on me?
I was just going to squat like a chair.
Yes.
But I could have gone all the way back and given myself a back bend too. I wanted to.
Yeah, cool. No, it didn't feel like there was a lot of pressure. Like once you opened yourself, it felt quite balanced. Yeah, nice.
So have a go with your partner at some of those options from the basic to the more complex.
So many.
Yeah.
Pressing into that arming fascia, specifically into the index arms.
Pressing through the heel of the palms, space between the index and the thumb. Pushing down and away. Nice. Do you want to jump on my way?
Alright.
I'm going to
So kind of easy to
just the hip, so the palms and the just coming up. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's a little.
Lifting, and then which way do we go once we've lifted the hips, Vicky? Pull them back.
Up and back.
Lifting the hips.
Yeah. Take a down, pressing the heels back to the center if you like, or if you could, or stay here.
Yeah, don't want to try.
Is that comfortable? Like there?
Was that feeling okay?
Maybe I'll try.
Yep.
Is the structure okay?
Yep.
I'm going to exhale, exhale, pull up and back. So exhale the current breath.
Do you mind if I try again?
Heart next towards the thighs. Nice. Inhale. I'm going to try it now. How's it that? Really great. Stay here for another 3 inhale. And exhale, release.
Alright.
Nice. Yeah, you're going a lot higher. It feels more. Yeah.
Exhale.
Really good.
On time and down.
Did it feel like that for you?
Exhale.
More of us.
Good. It's hard to know because at the times I'm going around going too tight. But
Touching down.
everyone's got a different idea of what's going to work. Alrighty.
Do we ask them?
Get down. It was this way.
Fingertips.
Then we strap on the let me know. Okay. So, gonna inhale. 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 Good. Does it feel better with the strap? I don't know. Yeah, it does all right things. What else?
I think that might be that bit more effective. The hands are red, the eyes are lead, because you made it. Do you feel like yeah, that's good. It's very sensitive. I wouldn't go around with my hands everywhere. Yeah.
But you're going from the inside. So
Maybe like through the shoulders.
What was that? Fire?
Yeah. Okay.
That's what sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
Sorry. So my right thigh. But then, am I hitting it? Is that too much of the dropping down, exhale.
Am I feeling maybe the top of the neck? Yeah. Alright. Inhale.
How does that feel? Okay, I'll try from the back. So stay as nice elevation. Great. So I'll try the heavy up. And the thing is that in the thighs as opposed to the shin.
Was that a little bit better?
Yeah, thighs. This here. So a deep inhale. Prepare, exhale from the palm.
The squats were getting under.
So well done, team. One thing to consider, guys. One thing to consider is just when you're, most of you are doing that beautifully, but just making sure when you're going in for the adjustment, to make sure you're grounded first. So this is really important, is your actual stance. Because you might say, okay, I'm going in for that, that, whatever it is. But if I'm like that, I'm not, this leg's a bit wonky, So first of all, okay, I'm going to go in for that, so I might need to be a bit closer. I'm grounded, I'm stable, and then I can go in with full groundedness, full connection. So that's me putting out my fire first, in a sense. So rather than if you back like that, stability first. Every adjustment, we're in a horse stance.
Too strong.
Because it's so easy just to kind of, oh yeah, go, oh. Not that any of you are doing that, but most of that. Ardha Chandrasana, another beautiful one where volunteer, someone different maybe? Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. So often we'll need a block here. You probably don't need one, but give you one anyway, just in case. So she comes into the pose. And this one's in a way similar to Trikonasana. You would come and stabilize again. You come to walk. So your hip there. And then you would encourage the arm up to the sky if that's okay. The other hand can support here. So there are a couple of things you can do. One hand here to lift up that leg and draw that hip further back, and then you can hold that, and then encourage that as well. So yeah, very similar to Trikonasana in a sense, but you know that's stabilizing that leg, because make that leg a little loose, drop it down. That's usually how people up, and then you've got to encourage that. And then to bring them out, you carefully reduce your wall. You hold on for a little bit, and you release care so that they stay there.
Do you think that the leg was a bit too high? Was it too high, or because I thought like it's meant to be?
Yeah, maybe it was a little bit.
But not that it's a bad thing.
It's unusual because she's a dancer. So she can go there. Most people won't.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like just straight lines,
cross.
like a cross, really.
Yeah.
That one's going to be slightly like that line. The other one comes straight down.
With the assisting, do you find that you adjust them on the inhale or the exhale, if that makes sense?
It depends.
Like say, for example, with the downward dog, is she pulling me up on the inhale or on the exhale so I can then kind of sit back more of it? The exhale. So is it like pull up and then push me down?
Inhale to prepare.
Yeah, because like, so she's got a strap, like you can pull it up and then pull back, but if you're using their hands, are you like pulling them up on the inhale and then, does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I'd be doing an inhale there.
Inhale, yeah.
To lift
And
them
then
up,
just let them kind of,
exhale to drop into it.
Yeah.
So if, for example, it's like what we did
Yeah.
before, she was lifting up on the inhale.
yeah,
And then press your heels back
So
down
that- yeah.
and holding it up on the exhale.
Yeah.
Something like that.
yeah, okay, cool.
Okay. Little Ardha Chandrasana. It is past 4, but I know Christina and I know you guys have to go. It's 4:15 though.
Oh, is it? It's alright, I'll keep doing this. That's alright. Yeah, that's why I was asking. It was really good when you pull me up.
Do you want this spot?
It's big.
It's not good. Just take your time.
Push pose. Try not to put any weight into your hand. To your arm. All the way to the
Yeah, because you don't really want to do that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you want me to do it? Yeah.
I'm just trying to
Shifting that
provide
focus. Focus is weight to the leg.
I'm just going to spread my hands over my shoulders, rotating upside, facing to the right side. Oh, it's great. Really like that.
Yeah,
Between
switching.
it's all good. Because your left leg is really good. And then we did that. So, does that feel comfortable in the wall? Do you want to try and raise your arm and open a straight? Release myself. Rounding that right foot.
Straight into the hand.
Let's see the left heel.
Your hand's probably too far forward. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good.
Let's see if I can hips outward. Couple of things. How does that one? That's better. Good. So change to the upper fingers. You've got this grounding that right toe, breathe. Okay. How's that? 2 breaths. And then when you get the block again, find your balance. Exhale, come up. Nice.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Okay, so foundation. I'll work my left foot.
I'll do the other side.
I'm just doing
Is it down or is it
Be her wall, go behind her. Go behind her, be her wall. Hip to hip. That's it. And you're stabilising it. You're just lifting it up.
So breathing out, breathing in. If you want, I'm here, you're welcome to bring your right arm. How's that? Yeah.
Remember to give each other feedback. Give each other feedback.
the wall went?
Did you take your wall away too quickly?
Oh no, okay, good.
I'm just going to gently release you.
Did you feel like you
that was good. That was much better.
Sorry, some more adjustments.
Yes,
More of a wall class.
More of a wall.
Imagine if I was able to do this.
Feet down the top of your leg, above your leg. When can you show me how to do the wall? That was really cool. Then
Basically, you just spread your hands.
yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, so I feel like you always say internally to do it yourself sometimes. Is that right?
Give me more of a wall.
Was he around here on the thighs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. That's good. And when you're ready, right arm. I feel like it's become a bit closer to the blow. Yeah, like a bit more underneath the shoulder, so they're not reaching as well. Coming in there.
One section.
Bring it out a bit. Bring it up. Flex these toes.
And then guys, let's try Padasvakonasana. Very interesting. Padasvakonasana, which I was showing you before with Bala, side angle pose.
Oh, yeah.
Extended side angle pose. So come into that. So you know.
That one?
Yeah, that one.
Yep.
So just forearm to your thigh. So your basic side angle pose. This is often something that happens. Someone just lifts the arm up. You want to try to encourage the arm like that, or the shoulder. This is sometimes the hands limp, and you want to encourage the direction of the energy. Just a little energy through the fingers. Engage the fingertips. Sometimes drawing back that shoulder a little. I could stabilize even just there with my inner thigh and move that back. Or it could be a proper wall and do it that way. And then we could do that one there with the foot. And then come into a bind from here. And then with the bind, going in like that. So one hand on the shoulder, the other hand around the back of the rib cage. This one you really kind of want to go in on the exhale. You could even get really close with this one if you had a decent relationship with your student. So my hand is, that hand, I'm getting my thumb right on the shoulder blade to really get that beautiful grip, that connection with the rib cage, like that, see? In the back there. And this is counteracting that, holding the shoulder. And then this is stabilizing, but it's also getting much deeper into the pose. I mean, that's, you know, you don't normally do that with every student like that. but you know, if you're friends.
Just trying to keep my cool now. Like, this is good. Just see the nerve like popping. Sweat dripping. Felt good though. Yeah.
Try that. Okay.
Oh yes, yeah.
No, you're fine. No, I was too confident. I didn't take away one by one. So redo that one.
Stabilizing through the front, forward,
Nice. I'm gonna place my hands to stabilize it. I'm gonna place my hands on the feel like it's rotating up.
Could you do like a little bit more pressure?
Yeah. So I'm gonna lift my hand away from your upper arm.
Yeah, that's it.
Good. Keep that high. Stay there. Slide everything through core. Exhale, wall is coming away. Slowly.
That does I reckon the high like when you drop a little bit, but when you put pressure on that up there. Buffering, yeah. Try to do it slow.
Got it. You have it. And then just extend through it. Reaching towards the front of the mat.
Yeah, sorry, this is actually well, I think that's 5 minutes, if that's okay. So I want to leave you because I'm not doing with you. Oh, where is you? Yeah, you were saying, okay, good. I don't want it to stay, so I love doing stuff. Alright, so halfway, yeah, however you want to get into it. Yep, and then we want to hit on the hip.
Don't forget the bind too.
Oh, yes, the bind. Let's take the bind. I'll take this arm around
The shoulder here. Yep, so press into the right hand, push away. Yeah.
I get a bit better.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just get a bit protected with this wrist because of
The right wrist? Yeah. Is there too much pressure on it? Or
just in case of the hesitancy there.
yeah, so yeah, I'm going to try and
Flex your left foot.
It's okay.
One hand is pulling that. The other hand is coming to
one more, maybe extend the arm. Sorry, your left arm.
Yeah.
Que legal, tudo bem.
Do you want to drop your arm to your hip?
That's perfect.
I'm just going to step away.
Not much to
Yeah, I guess I can see open up more.
Nice long stance, wide enough, holding left knees, tracking outwards, standing in the ground, stability to breath. Weight forward, just coming behind so that it's towards, extending through right arm, keeping the face in line,
Widen your stance a little bit.
Well done.
So you reach a little far forward with that hand. You kind of want this to be directly underneath, so probably about there.
So more of like the shoulders.
So usually the hand is coming a little bit outside of the edge of the foot and a little bit ahead, not too far ahead. So that, yeah, this is a nice straight line along.
Yeah, I don't know like the pelvic
So the
floor.
thumb's kind of linked to the pinky toe.
Not in line, no, not necessarily. It's usually a little bit wider. Think about if I'm coming down here, coming into position, and I'm just allowing my hand to drop down naturally where it wants to go. That's kind of where it needs to be. So, I mean, yeah, actually, you're probably right. Probably thumb more or less in line with the pinky. But then I'm not pressing into there either. Just stabilising with my hands. So fingertips are just resting before we stabilise. All the weight's in my leg. And that's just there. Stabilise.
Does that help? Yeah. The hands on the little rotation. So is it okay? We'll stay here and take a little bit more here. Come on to my mind. Yep. Is that okay to you? Yeah.
Would you like to bend or?
I think I should do that one. Jesus.
Going to new places, right?
Sorry?
Going to new places?
Yeah, this is here a little bit. Does that feel like you're going to stop? No, it's good.
But good action right now. Just like exhale, opening. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Is that the more dominant one? The high one?
Try to hold it down. So guys, one thing I'm noticing is that you're all being quite careful, which is really good. But when we make this commitment to the adjustment, I think it's important to go in full. You know, fully go in there, fully connect with your student. Breathe with them. You see what I was doing with Christina? You know, I was right in there. And then you can really sensitize yourself to their capacity within the pose, and you can just take it that little bit deeper, rather than feeling a little bit of hesitation, which is fine. It's normal. Don't want to hurt you. Don't want to get too intimate. Don't want to get too far. But we're making this commitment now. We're going in there. We're connecting. We're really attuning ourselves to them. We keep that communication. And occasionally, is that okay? How are we going there? Can we go a little deeper maybe? But don't also be afraid to make that commitment.
I think like big thing is just like getting your breath in sync, perhaps even before kind of contact with the student, because that's what I'm noticing. I'm like, I don't even know where my breath is now to know where my breath is.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Let's bring it down next to the floor, just thinking in time. We don't have that much time left.
I better go now, I think that's okay. Thank you.
No worries. So
Oh, do you want to keep it?
I'll leave out the back bends, because we kind of do that in the back bend lecture.
Do you like that?
But maybe a bit of forward and twisting assistance, and even shoulders. That's what we do. So with your regular forward bend, Paschimottanasana, volunteer please.
Yep. Oh,
No. Yeah, it's fine. Sorry.
So Paschimottanasana, so we're sitting down, legs extended, hands beside the hips. Then circle the arms up to the sky on your inhale. And on your exhale, hinge from the hips downwards, reaching for the feet or the legs too far. So yeah, pretty normal. We've got a bit of a curve in the back here. We kind of want to try and avoid that. So there's a few different ways in which we could do this. I think in there it suggests that this kind of connection with the shins there. Shins to the kind of lower back. And dip your feet under the bottom, connect like that. And there you can kind of pull the shoulders back a little. And so you're pulling back to the shoulders, but you're pressing with the shins. So that's encouraging. Yeah? So pushing here. Shins are pushing. And this is pulling. And that can be. Is that okay? So that's one option. Another option is just simply a little less kind of intense. A gentler one is just to encourage with the hands up, so energetically pulling up there, and then giving a little push, but not, you don't want to be pushing from above here. That doesn't, because that encourages that back hunch. So more like lifting here and then pressing from there. Because really here we're looking to get rib cage to the thighs, and yeah, she's not quite there yet. So it might take some time before that happens. So you're just encouraging that.
Encouraging to bend at the hips.
Yeah, to bend at the hips, to lengthen out of the lower back, and so that's as far as you might go.
Would we encourage like maybe a micro bend in the knees?
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. You want to bend your knees a little bit, a micro bend in the knee, maybe even a little more. And try to get the rib there, and then the rib cage is closer to the thighs now. It might be a little more comfortable. So still this kind of lifting energy here. You could always bring a bit of shoulders back energy as well. And then the final one, and this is more your partner yoga, but it's beautiful when you actually then lie over the top. And so here you squat down, bring your tailbone to tailbone. Again, an encouragement of that lifting of the lower back first, and then all the way back.
How do you feel, Chris?
Pretzel. And sometimes you can have a hole there, that's quite nice.
Oh my God.
Jesus. Wow.
But try those three options. One with the shins and shoulders. One just hands lifting the lower back. And then maybe consider trying the lying back. If you're doing the lying back, make sure they're okay though. Communicate that with them.
I might squash
The first one is your shin. So
Alright, try those shins.
like that. Bring your feet.
Just like, just fold the hips. And just let your legs land naturally.
Yeah, I will be here, okay? I'll make any counts if you're stuck on that, on the lights, just till you get past that. I'll create those counts for you. Different pages. Let's pull from the, whatever, which we got.
Inhale.
No. Watch the position of their feet as well. Often the feet flare out to the side. The toes need to be pointing to the sky. Flexing the toes, flexing the feet. Toes to the sky.
Finally, sink out the thighs, legs extended. Inhale, circle the arms up to the sky. Circle the hips.
Inhale.
Good.
It's like we're already there.
I might try that.
Yeah, try now.
Is it okay?
Shin
Yeah.
bones to the, is that comfortable
So
there?
make sure your feet are pointing up towards the
Together.
sky. Keep them flex.
Exhale.
Okay, and then so try. So inhale. Exhale.
How's that feeling?
How's it feeling?
There. Are we good here? Do we stay here?
Then your knees and
Inhale.
Yeah, exhale. And just remember to If you feel like your hands are
Encourage
just
that
to
lengthening
flare up. Yeah. So inhale. Exhale forward. Inhale.
That one was good. Shins and then
That's amazing.
that was okay. Like hands there.
Yes, she was.
Okay, great.
If you're doing the lying over someone, just really mindful of how you come out, because you're taken into a deep position. So releasing with care, nice and slowly.
Yeah. And the bend in the knee.
Center of the spine against this
What was
one.
the second one you talked about?
Just lifting up the lower back, so just gently with the hands,
Yeah.
and that's all. Just kind of lifting up and a little press from the lower back area.
Do you want me to?
So lifting, yes.
Just the lift from the lower back. Okay. Do you want to switch with you as well? Yeah. Switch back.
Yeah, it's good for the personal
I always struggle with this pose, to be honest, because my hands are really tight, but I just have a lot of resistance to doing pushing this stuff. It's good, it's good.
Straighten the back more first.
I guess I could also offer a block as well, or something, if I were to do something a bit more intense with the
The
adjustment.
other one was the live.
So, energetically, like, yes.
Inhale, so Thomas.
Right in there, yes.
Exhale. I shoot it to my stomach. So from
This one.
Yep.
So just pull my shoulders back when I exhale. Yeah.
The exhale. As a during the exhale, it's like
So on the inhale, you sort of do the leg thing, and then on the exhale, you push me back with your shins and guide my shoulders towards you. Yeah.
so inhale.
Yeah, just have that feel relax for the shoulders. Deeper in the exhale now.
So inhale.
Exhale.
Exhale.
Place my shins on your lower back and just stay there.
Pull my shoulders back. Pull. Yeah. Perfect. That's so nice.
Just want to stay there.
That was good. So inhale forwards. Yeah. And just rest your hands.
Do you want to come out before I
Yeah, it's a bit more, not forceful, but you go deeper quicker when you're going into it. But then coming out, you don't want a slingshot.
on your back?
So inhale and then on exhale you're pushing the other way around.
It's up.
Inhale.
I'm going to come down a bit lower there.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're opening, so when we inhale,
Inhale.
we're doing more opening poses, I feel we inhale more.
Yes.
And then there's more room, so you can stay nice and exhale. You want to do the back one?
Yeah.
You're going to reach question?
I will.
Okay. That's good.
Alright, let's go. Inhale, nice and tight in the spine, raise the arms to the sky. Exhale, keep it strong.
We keep it bending
Try to sit on the bolsters, see what's
around, connecting tailbone to
Yeah.
tip.
Does that seem much?
Yeah.
Tailbone together.
Okay, if I try again.
It'll always depend with this one here. It depends on the person how far they go and how deep they are going to get to. Generally, it's tailbone, but sometimes you need to go higher and lower. So you just have to kind of feel.
My head,
Yeah, more or less. You want the heads to be connected.
I just need to get around.
Ah.
So you can potentially actually come a little higher.
Definitely. Fine.
Go with the hands.
Injury
Yeah.
already. That's why I was so sensitive.
Probably white throat, so susceptible to break. Or to injury. Yeah. Okay. Do it.
Okay, so
How do you do?
know some of you still got some more to do with this one, but can someone come into Janu Shasana? Janu Shasana?
Yeah.
You know Janu Shasana?
No.
Janu Shasana?
Good.
Janu Shasana.
Yeah.
Just you go.
Yep.
Janu Shasana. So Janu Shasana is one leg forward bend. So this one you would a nice way to adjust. And you could do a similar thing to what we did before. You know, that way, with the shins. But also it's really, because there's that opening of that hip, it's nice to encourage that. Here we're externally rotating the hip. So we can encourage that just by hand on the thigh there, the other hand on the lower back, so lifting there, and externally rotating, pressing that up and back like that one.
So where are you pressing with your left hand?
Left hand, I'm just kind of doing the lifting of the lower back.
Oh,
Same as what we
sure,
do
sure.
in Paschimottanasana.
Yeah.
So lifting there, and then here, just encouraging, you could do it that way, but it feels icky. It's better that way. Encouraging the hip to open, so the shin, the thigh rather, to externally rotate like that. And for my own stability here, I'm actually using my leg there to help me there, because without it, you wouldn't be as stable. So that and that. Squatting down, making sure I feel okay. In all sorts of good positions. Yeah. So try that one too if you can.
The back feels great.
Okay.
Was it external rotating here?
Yes. So firstly, I want to reach for the again. I'm going to reach for the firstly, you have a little bit of a bend in the knee,
Just holding it back.
and just let the hands fall on either side.
Yeah, sure. At the same time, there's that lift and a
Yeah,
pull.
so that's good. And that's good.
Nice, that's good.
Okay.
So okay, put some pressure here.
So, always check people's feet
It's like
in
people
their
so
forward
right.
bends.
Yeah,
Feet often go out to
the
the
hamstrings are
sides.
really feeling it.
Toes to the board, you can point
Yeah,
out.
hamstrings and calves, yeah.
Have the leg nice and stable. So, Matt, your toes a little bit behind you.
Enough? Yeah. You're going to try your other leg?
How does that feel?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, inhale.
Shins
Down.
Yep, shins.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Inhale again.
Jesus, no, that's great. Just no, go hard.
Yep.
Go hard or go home.
I think with your feet, like with your left feet, that's where you feel forward. So
That's a good
maybe
shoulder.
you try and if you're going to grab them, maybe grab them on the side if you can, to let them straighten up. Or to let them flex towards the back.
Can you feel that rotation?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't lie down. That was really good.
So you want to squat down a bit more there, Matt? Yeah.
I think that's my, yeah.
Some self-confidence first, make sure
Tight, so
you're
that's
stable.
good. Yeah, that's helping.
Yeah, so
The bar is full on.
lifting there.
The first time I bent down to it, I was like, oh, after that.
More than pushing, you're kind of pulling down.
So yeah, but truly like forward jump. Yeah, to a degree, they're gonna.
No, sorry, no. Because there's a different thing.
I get things stretched, but I'm just wondering how. Maybe I won't do this one.
Really helpful.
Yeah.
I could like
not put too much of my upper back because that is what I can control. Like the lower back, that's connected. Yeah, maybe I won't fully lean back. But like I won't maybe sort of sit. You know, maybe that was even though it's possible.
I wasn't
it's
adjusting you.
it's
I wasn't in the correct position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That. 'Cause then and that's something I personally don't know, so that's why it doesn't do. But now that's good feedback. What's everybody saying? I want to go all the way to the side. So okay, gotta pull back there. Yeah.
Inhale.
Was Janu
In this one?
Janu Shir Shasana. Janu Shir.
If you'll
Do you want to try?
Yeah.
I will also try it.
squat down, bottom to bottom, elbows to that's it.
I think with that one it's more with front arm. Yeah.
Probably straighten your upper leg.
Belly towards the flexing the left toes.
Exhale.
Slightly lopsided.
You naturally have like a knee bend.
Pardon?
Naturally have a knee bend. They're working on calves.
Yeah.
Maybe sitting slightly lower perhaps to kind of stabilize. Would you say stabilize things that makes sense?
Have a level form properly.
Yeah. I guess you'll learn more about interesting as well.
Yeah.
Do you mean funny?
Yeah.
Funny.
Something else will come up. Exhale.
Like, push down towards that.
Yeah, like head was on.
Yeah.
She shows some jump.
Did you come and demonstrate something else? Just before we finish up. Fish plates, you okay for those?
Yeah, shoulder stand is this.
So guys,
One like you
the last two poses we'll do today is shoulder stand and fish.
Can't get into shoulder stand.
That's so hard.
You can't get into shoulder stand?
Not at the moment.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. Window. That's fine.
My body's just
you don't have to.
Yeah.
But you can adjust
Yes.
mat and shoulder stand.
Yeah.
So shoulder stand, usually the nicest adjustment. Two things you want in shoulder stand is so you want to try and kind of lift them essentially, so that there's a straighter line from the heels to the shoulder. See, she's a little bit kind of like that, which is fine. But we can fix that and we can encourage a straighter thing happening. And then the other thing is you want to get those shoulder blades closer together. Draw the shoulders back a little bit more. So the way you do that is you come behind, you bring the feet to the outside of the elbows, hands grip under the ankles, and then you lift. As you lift, you gently walk your feet, pressing the elbows closer to each other. So you're lifting and creating that. And then,
Pressing the elbows up.
and then you brought the elbows closer to each other, so that's helping to open up the shoulders further. And you've given them a deeper position. Right. So then come down slowly. Shoulders down. So the head unwind nice and slowly. And then move into your fish pose from there, Matsyasana. So then Matsyasana, elbows into the floor, she lifts up. She's got a pretty good Matsyasana. Often people really struggle with this one. Often here I am just with an assist, lying beside them and just showing them the mechanics of it. Because often people can go into a Bridge pose, yeah. When you guide them through Matsyasana, often they go into a bridge pose. So sometimes it's just lying next to them and showing, no, arms underneath. No, we don't lift the bottom off. We keep the bottom down. We lift the chest and have the head tilted back. But to encourage a deeper Matsyasana, a really beautiful adjustment is to come over the top of them, hands around the rib cage again, get into that place just underneath the shoulder blades there, and then just lift.
Wow.
So that lift really opens up the chest, opens up the shoulders,
Huge difference.
and takes them into that new as that pose.
With the Batsiana, do you have to have your head on the ground?
Yeah, do you have to?
No, you don't have to. Some schools say yes, some say no. You can and you don't have to.
I thought you did this whole time until you lifted her off
Yeah.
her head.
No, you don't have to.
I think when we did this lecture, I was under the impression that we drew up with the head, like not lifting up with the chest first, so lifting up with the head, and then that's where I thought, oh, there has to be a point of contact with the head, even though we're drawing up with the head, still in contact with the mat, and it's okay to lift the head afterwards, even though we've drawn it up, and we can lift the. It's not dangerous or anything.
No.
So it's the chest first.
What you want to avoid here is straining the neck. What often happens, people to come into this pose will often come up like that, stiff neck, and then go back with their stiff neck, and you know that's going back from a place of tension, which can cause an issue. Instead, you want to come up, neck is relaxed before you even go there. So you relax the neck, let it go, press into the elbows, head is just hanging behind. So whether you choose to stay on the crown of the head or lift up, there's no pressure in the neck at all. The neck has done no work. Only once you come down here, you need to go move the head out of the way, you might engage the neck muscles. But all that time going up, the neck is relaxed. The head's just hanging behind. So there you go, try those
I
two.
feel so relaxed after doing those two poses.
I feel like that's a really good muscle to thyroid.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Shoulder?
Yeah. Well, technically the shoulder stand is the best for the thyroid to get the squeeze, and the fish is more for the parathyroids.
Walking your hands up towards
Yeah, because you've got the
upper back.
skin into the throat, so you're squeezing the thyroid. Whereas when you're doing that, it's still working the thyroid,
Like in combination.
but it's actually working the parathyroids more, which they regulate the calcium distribution in the body.
And other sources when we actually make a parathyroid gland.
You may wish to bring
Is it
your
Batsiasana?
together.
Whereas your shoulder stands more activating that central thyroid.
I wanted to use my feet to draw your strength a bit more, but I wasn't sure whether
Elbows slightly closer tucked in.
It's so awesome that you just healed the
And then,
yeah, you did it.
either way.
Your body really have to happen. And this is
our knees
I'm trying to get that. This will take some
and
time.
hands towards our hips. And then just hold your knees and flex the feet. Elongation side. I'm just going to
Do you want to do shoulders?
like
Someone
that's okay.
You want to do fish and then I'll do fish?
You wish you can bring your elbows in. Too much? Yeah.
So you got to lift from the chest. Yeah.
Pardon?
Yeah. And this thing here, that's perfect with elbows.
Now coming to our breath, hands just below. Engaging through. And the strength coming from the forearms and the elbows as you lift your heart up. Lift your heart
I'll let go of your shins, your calves. Taking your
It's the upper back, Mickey.
And then
With the
slowly
upper
let it go, let
Yep.
it go.
Middle back.
Onto the
Yeah.
earth.
So actually, you can come around that way.
Sorry.
Come around this way. Under, you want to get
Pardon?
yeah.
Go down.
Yeah.
Just to your head or to
Yeah. No,
It's good. It feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. They said it's not good for you. I was like, oh.
Chest and head. Okay, cool.
Inhale. Back up to exhale. Good. Slowly lower. Slowly exhale, slowly lower.
Good, but you could have been more connected to it by having either side of it. What you did was okay, but you know, what you do is like, get a little more even, your pose, your body. So you get the either side, comes first.
Very confident on the
Hands right underneath the shoulder blades there. Not much to go there because you've already
Yeah, that one feel.
taken it.
How does that one feel?
But yeah.
Yeah.
The fish is amazing. Hot sauce.
And then
Love it.
No, actually, it's the other way around. Former than I didn't know like this, but there was a question. But maybe now it's your problem.
really nice.
Nice.
Get that fish one more time.
When you're done, coming back to your seat, as we've kind of hit our 5
Can you
o'clock mark.
please adjust me in class on Wednesday? Missing out on all these adjustments.
Sure.
So nice to be adjusted. I feel
Isn't
like
it?
teachers don't really.
Well, we haven't because of the whole COVID thing.
COVID.
You know, really, that's a big part of it. I mean, it's one part of it. Some teachers aren't comfortable adjusting. But yeah, I've just really started back this
Doing
week.
it, yeah.
This last couple of weeks.
This is studio I go to Good Vibes, and the class is quite long, so I can't even really see if she's like showing us like so, but be nice. It's nice to be adjusted.
Yeah, you don't know the form until you get there.
Yeah. I need to take that off.
I definitely feel your practice can be
It's okay.
accelerated. If you have that adjustment, so you have that feeling in your body of where it
Inhale.
could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it shows you have the capacity to in some ways. It's interesting, like once you're adjusted, if you can stay there and hold it, but then sometimes it comes out a little bit, but it's just good to know that's where you can go.
But muscle memory means like next time you get into that pose, you'll just remember that. Like just what you showed us with fish, like from the chest and then the head. I just wasn't doing it like that. That's probably why I was always a little bit uncomfortable with that.
Yeah, that's a big one. And that's that's the reason why I say go to Iyengar. Go and do some Iyengar classes because there's so much of this thing is all about adjusting and fine tuning the poses.
Do they offer a lot of adjustments as teachers? Yeah, Iyengar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's really, really good.
Won't be a sec. So yeah, so just what are some of the key points we've learned about adjusting? What do we need to do?
Stabilize.
Stabilize ourselves, yeah.
Be
And
grounded.
commit to it.
Commit to it. Be grounded.
Consent.
Consent. Yep.
Achieving sensitized to the other person.
Sync the breathing before getting in, ideally, but definitely when in.
Yeah.
Make it prominent.
Difference between adjusting and assisting.
Adjusting, it's more physical, hands-on. Assisting, it can be only verbal cues. And like light sort of rushing, like that's kind of useless.
Yeah, seems like it can be like applied to other areas in life as well. Just interacting with the world.
Yeah. Give us an example.
I would like to say tuning in with someone first before going and making an adjustment on themselves and someone else. Otherwise, if you didn't do it right at once. I mean, like if you're offering some advice or something like that, like if you're offering advice to a friend.
Consent. Ask them.
Be once.
Just like start adjusting people on the train.
Alignment's a bit off.
Tap your button.
But sure, I mean, you know, something like, do you mind if I give you some advice on this situation we're talking about, or whatever? It's a good approach if we can remember rather than just go into it. So good. Like all these topics, it's like we just kind of just touch the surface in a way. It's always, we could always go so much deeper. There's so many other poses we could explore, but at least we've explored a few of the main postures that we work with. And then a lot of that you can, as you can see, so even you saw that, what we did in Trikonasana, it's quite similar to Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So you know, some of the concepts you can bring into the other poses, you know, that rotation happening in the bound side angle, you know, it's a similar thing in a lot of your twists. You can similar approach. Forward bending, back bending. Back bending is usually about similar to what we did in fish. Actually, fish is a back bend essentially. So back bending is usually encouraging that opening of the chest. But if it's like say a wheel pose, then you'll be the other way around. You'll be in front of them, I guess, and lifting them up from their shoulders.
So can I ask a question? If someone was in camel, could you adjust them similarly to how we adjusted each other in
fish?
Or
camel, because of the mechanics, more the actual direction of the direction of gravity. That's what you kind of get to. Camel, I would never normally adjust.
Oh, you don't?
No. If anything, I would just encourage the hips forward. So
encourage the hips forward.
So you know, people often are back there, so you might just bring the hips, you know, coming from the front, kind of like fish, but just in the hips, bringing that forward. But it's not, you know, there's certain poses which don't, you know, just adjusting doesn't really align that well. I mean, you can ultimately adjust any pose, but camel is one that you do it always on. All right, we better pack it up because you're teaching Dalia.
Yeah, she is.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thanks. Thanks, you. Great to see you.
I've got something wrong here. I thought it was the start of the lesson.
No. We're ending the teacher training.
So what's the next lesson?
Bella's teaching the next lesson.
Yeah,